is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. Landon Schmidt producing. We're Sports Time. We're with you a little shorter this afternoon, the next 2.5 hours. We've got Ole Miss baseball coming up. We'll have the pregame show at 5:30. For that first pitch at 6 o'clock on the road against the Arkansas Razorbacks. So a road series this weekend. For Ole Miss, we'll get out a little early for that game. So 2.5 hours for us, but plenty to get into. We'll talk the NBA playoffs. It was a lot of fun last night. One snoozer, a couple of really good games, one big surprise late last night in Minnesota. So we'll talk a lot of NBA playoffs. We'll talk some baseball, but it's going to be a lot of wagering and Kentucky Derby talk today because the Derby is tomorrow. So we will discuss a ton about the Kentucky Derby and everything to pay attention to this weekend. Also, Memphis basketball, they landed another commitment earlier today. Tylik Weeks, the scorer from Southern Miss, is a Tiger. So plenty to talk about over these next 2.5 hours. But Brett, how are you this afternoon?
Brian, I'm doing well. In my enthusiasm for the Tigers yesterday, toward the end, I said I am very excited about the Tigers and the American. Mm-hmm. I'm now getting excited for all of it when I see and hear about some bigs.
Yeah, and that's still kind of the wait and see. They've hosted a couple bigs over the last 2 weeks, and so you definitely got to bring in the rebounding, the rim protection, which is the big omission on this team right now. But getting a guy like Tylik Weeks, a guy that can really score at will. It's just kind of give him the ball and get out of the way. That is the type of player that they really needed on this roster, and so really nice pickup for them this morning. And we'll see maybe even over the next couple of hours, next couple of days, if they can land one of those big time rebounding guys and kind of have a more complete idea what this team will look like.
That clear out bucket getter guy, that's a role that's got to be clearly defined. Mm-hmm. That he's the guy. Yeah. Everybody understands? Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
I'm glad you all do.
Yeah. And it feels like he is going to be that. I think we talked about it with Greg yesterday. They've added guys that can score. You look at a lot of these guys that are averaging 13, 14, 12 points a game, and those are good, but to kind of have that option, and it's something that Memphis really lacked last year of they had guys that had shown they could score at previous stops, but they didn't have that guy that, hey, you're in a spot late in the game, you need somebody to step up and just be that go-to guy.
Some nights it was Parker.
Sure, and but that really wasn't consistent all year. You needed that guy, and it feels like they have this guy. I had a buddy that was trying to compare Weeks and Sincere Parker, and I said not identical, but I would say Weeks is closer to the kind of go-to scorer that you had with PJ Haggerty and even David Jones than he is with Sincere Parker. I think he's going to be more consistent option.
Good.
Very different players in a sense, but I do think he can give you a lot more than what Sincere Parker gave you last year. So I think a really nice addition for the Tigers.
And Brian, I'm with most everyone else, and there weren't many voices that I hear, and I listen to our station. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear many voices or see much in print of too much valuation in last year's class. Mm-hmm. I think this year there's a little more enthusiasm and value from this class. But that was negated last year by the head coach himself saying it was the second best assemblage compilation that he had ever put together. Mm-hmm. I hope he doesn't say that. Yeah. I want understated, under promised. Let's over deliver. I think that's been Coach Hardaway's best teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it definitely is, and we talked about that a lot last year with kind of the over promise and under deliver that we got last year with that team. So yeah,
that stayed with him. It stayed with the assistant coach on these airwaves that said Doug McDaniel was going to be first team All-American. Yeah, let's don't do that.
No, I would hope that it's very kind of low key and just
let us do that. Yeah, I don't want them doing that. I don't want the staff doing that.
No. And so I get where they're coming from, but I
think we need to temper it.
Sure, no, definitely, but I think setting such high expectations as a coaching staff really makes it hard for any team to meet those expectations, and very clearly that team last year didn't. And so we'll wait and see what this team looks like when it is complete, when it is when you've got those bigs in. But I like what they're building right now. I think it's a nice mix of different type of guys, and we'll see. Ultimately, it's going to be a really tough non-conference schedule, and we'll see how they're able to handle it in November and December.
It is tough. Boy, you are Cardinal clad today.
Yeah, I am.
Looking good.
Yeah, no, I got the jersey on, and then you got me this hat. This was one of the giveaways
that
when
was
you were
the
in St.
Sunday
Louis.
hat.
So I like this. I have my Chicks hat on. I put this Cardinals
Chicks hat looks
hat
good.
on. Yeah, no, I like that Chicks hat a lot. But big weekend for the Cardinals against the Dodgers, so gotta support.
Dodgers only have 2 more wins than the Cardinals all year.
How about that? Yeah,
they got that payroll. The Cardinals have our little bitty. We're keeping it on the back of our checkbook register.
Everybody knows this year when you talk about the teams, it's Dodgers, Cardinals. They're in the same sentence.
That's it, especially spending.
That's exactly right. So that'll be fun this weekend. A lot of really fun baseball series
on the
started.
Derby. A lot of horses, isn't it?
A lot of horses. Yeah.
And the debate of too many.
It's always a debate. I'll leave that to you. I don't keep up with the horses enough to have a say in too many.
I have, and there was a time that I would never. It was never my big thing, but I did like it. And in Arkansas with Oakland,
sure.
a lot of going and a lot of knowing the names and the people around it. It did something to me, though. Was it back-to-back years that the actual horse that crossed the finish line ended up not being the winner?
Yeah, I think so.
Those years did something to me.
Yeah.
And something else that did something to me, our respondents and our audience that thought that I was some knave for thinking that. I just think the one that crosses the finish line first should be the winner when you have however many pounds they weigh. What do they weigh? 1,300 pounds going at that speed. What are they supposed to say? Excuse me?
That's true. Yeah.
And now if it had been clear and really over the line, okay. But those years did something to me in my like for it.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that, and it's certainly a lot of horses, and it can get tedious when you talk about some of the rules and different things with the race. But it's the couple minutes where I act like a horse racing expert.
We all do,
and then I don't pay attention to it again until next year.
I like the run up of the coverage. Do you watch any of it?
I do not. No.
You wait till
I figure out what time they're racing at, and I'll
till they're all loaded up
around that point.
I do, and I like it, and I enjoy it. I've never been to the Kentucky Derby or the Belmont. Went to the Preakness one year, and I promise you could put on a blindfold and sit in this studio and see the track as well as I did that day at Pimlico.
Ugh. Well, I was about to say, I feel like. I
mean, it was literally there. They are. I missed it.
Oh man, that's too bad. Well, I was gonna say that I feel like horse racing is one of those where it's better in person than on TV. But now hearing that, maybe I'm wrong.
It was total cluster.
Oh, I hate that.
I mean, in every way imaginable.
I hate that. Well, that happens sometimes.
And left there and went to Orioles. Total disaster the whole day.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk the horses today. We'll talk a lot of wagering and get everybody's thoughts on the Kentucky.
Ran out of gas driving back to DC.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, no, that does sound like a rough day. But a lot to get to today. We talked or mentioned the NBA playoffs last night. The big win for Minnesota. They have advanced.
My Wild.
Well, I was more talking about the Timberwolves, but yes, your Wild did win. We are the hockey show, so shame on me for
my Knicks and my
lead.
Wild last night.
That's right. Yes. No. It was. Well, that's the thing. So, we got off at 6 last night, and I left here. I went to go get some food. Sat in line at the place I went to. By the time I got it, ate it, got home, turned on the game. It was like 74-20. I said, "All right, I'm not watching this game."
It was such a deficit. It was hard to compute. Like they're up. They're up, what, 74-29?
Yeah.
What is that? How much is that?
Oh, I mean, and again, like I had not seen any of it. I had not listened to any of it. I had not kind of score checked at all. The first time I saw a score of that game, and I had a buddy that texted me and was like, "What is this game?" And so I, got home and I turned it on, and I kind of had to sit there for a second going, "Wait a minute. How in the world do the Knicks have 70 whatever points and there's still 4 or 5 minutes left in the second quarter? You're right. It did not make any sense. And I turned it on. I figured out how they scored all those points, and then I changed it, and then I turned on.
Did
the
you
Celtics
have anything
game.
on it?
No.
Well, can't imagine people had Atlanta last night. And for Atlanta, this was a progress made year, wasn't it?
Oh, it definitely was.
I mean, they moved the tape a little bit. It wasn't any big jerk of the tape, but they moved the tape a little. And Quinn Snyder, I think, can really coach. Last night negated it all.
Yeah.
That's all anybody will remember about Hawks 25-26.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be the result, and next year, if they can make it back to the playoffs, it's not going to be the, hey, remember when they went up in that series against the Knicks? It's going to be, oh man, do you remember how they exited?
They were up 2-1 in that series.
No, they were, and were in complete control there for a second, and then the Knicks rallied back, and last night was pretty embarrassing.
Hawks, so that franchise.
It absolutely is, and so, I like the moves they made last offseason. Obviously, the midseason move this year to move Trae Young. We'll see what they do this offseason and see if they can, put themselves in a better spot next year in the playoffs. Crazy to look. The Knicks, obviously in Atlanta last night, they closed as a 2.5-point favorite last night, and then
they got there.
Made it look easy. So yeah, if you had the Knicks last night, you were sitting there.
That was a real lock.
Pretty. Yes, no, that was a lock.
Knicks fans took over the building.
Oh, they did. No.
And it looked like a lot of them moved down as the night moved on.
I think people got out of there pretty early. The Atlanta Hawks fans.
Very laid back fandom there.
It is, and you could see it. We kind of questioned what it would look like, and obviously, they got out of hand early, so they didn't even really have an opportunity last night to get into the game before it was out of reach. But it was very quiet. It was very stale down there in Atlanta.
Unlike my Wild hockey.
Okay.
That St. Paul crowd.
Oh yeah, no, they're good.
That was up there with Buffalo.
It's really good. It's really good. And I mean, we talk about it all the time. The hockey, they know how to do playoffs, and it feels like every single night you watch an environment and it is rocking. And Minnesota was right there last night in a night where you kind of had to pick if you're just a full-on Minnesota sports fan. You kind of had to decide last night. I think most people were picking between the Wild and the Timberwolves. Twins were playing at home, but I think everyone will skip a regular season game for the playoffs. You had to decide whether you wanted to go to the Wild game or whether you wanted to go to the Timberwolves game. Both those teams got a win last night, and for the Timberwolves to get that type of win over Denver last night when it felt like everybody was saying, all right, here comes the momentum for the Nuggets, all these injuries with Minnesota, for the Timberwolves to win that game last night, that was very impressive.
And how apropos my big number of the day yesterday, 2, now completed. Since winning the NBA championship, Denver's won 2 playoff series, first round 24, first round 25, out in first round in 26, and that's with one of the 5 best players in the league.
Yeah, no, it's hard to believe that this team just has not been able to find the success and put different guys around him, and it's also Jamal Murray, who's certainly not up there in the best players in the league, but he is a really good kind of, when we talk about that Batman and Robin, he's a really good Robin to pair with Nikola Jokic. He had a really bad game last night, only 12 points for him. It was just not many people showing up.
They play uninspired. Yeah. I think they miss Michael Malone.
Yeah, I think so too. And last night it was just kind of all the hustle categories that Minnesota won and really took advantage of. You talk about the second chance points, the offensive rebounds, those type of categories. Minnesota was locked in last night, and really, Denver had no answers all night long.
Like Milwaukee winning 1 with prime Giannis. Well, Toronto won 1 that they lost, with Kawhi. But just to win 1 in peak Jokic years.
Yeah, no, it's hard to believe, and we see what's happening up in Milwaukee with Giannis very unhappy, and we'll wait and see if he gets moved this offseason or if they're able to make something happen with Taylor Jenkins coming in. But do we see Nikola Jokic get unhappy in Denver and talk about wanting to move from there? He said multiple times last night in his press conference that he wanted to continue to be a Denver Nugget, but at some point, and Nikola Jokic a little different, but a lot of these players, they look up, and like you said, these are his prime years, and he's looking up, and they're just not getting the job done, and really not even making any runs to try to get it done again. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets to a point where he says, "Look, this isn't working here in Denver. I need to go somewhere else."
That money,
it's really good. It's really good.
enough money that he used to would buy a franchise.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, with a lot of players,
not that long ago, he would buy a franchise.
No, but
and build a building.
That's right. But for a lot of players, I think it would be very easy to look at Nikola Jokic's situation and say, I wouldn't be surprised if he wants out of there. Nikola Jokic is very different. I don't know if he views all of those things the same as other stars in the NBA.
No, he doesn't. Very Dirk like that.
Yes, no, he is. And at some point, sometimes you can question how much he really loves the game of basketball and playing at the NBA.
He's
level.
really good at it.
He's
Imagine
very
if he
talented.
loved it.
That's sometimes the question.
I don't think a great series for him. And Landon, really, we saw a window to the Nuggets' soul in that late season trip here to Memphis.
We really did.
In that just really poor performance.
Yeah.
That they
Very
were
sloppy
detached,
play.
very sloppy, careless, against a team that was wanting to lose. Mm-hmm. It was more in the Grizzlies' benefit to lose, and Denver could not put Memphis away.
No, they couldn't. And
So why did I pick Denver in that series when I saw it in front of me?
Why did I pick Denver?
We both did.
Yeah,
we learned nothing.
That's a good question.
We didn't.
You know, I mean, that was a weird game, and we all kind of talked about it. That was a game Memphis, in a position where they want to lose, and never really had much life for the Nuggets in that series. But last night
You had Minnesota, though.
I did have Minnesota. That was before the Anthony Edwards injury. I had Atlanta. But last night 64 points in the paint for Minnesota against Nikola Jokic, against some of those other bigs that they have in Denver to be that effective in the paint.
He's out at the 3-point line. He doesn't want to be inside.
No, he doesn't, and that's part of the problem. And like you said, the numbers were really good for him this series, but watching that series, him, and what Rudy Gobert did to him really throughout the series was hard to watch at times.
Gobert brought
did a great job. No, he did. He absolutely did. And he's a guy that a lot of people question at times. He's a multi-time defensive player of the year, but he still kind of gets questioned.
Get detached.
He definitely can. But he was locked in this series. Really impressive for Minnesota. And now the question will be, when can they get Anthony Edwards back? You would hope at some point in this next series he's able to return from that injury. And what that could do for the Timberwolves will be massive. But we've got a busy show today, so let me set it up before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, Alan Bell from Driving the Line. He'll join us. We'll talk wagering with him. We'll talk Major League Baseball, college baseball, a little NBA. We'll also get his thoughts on the Kentucky Derby. 3:45, we'll talk more about the NBA playoffs. We'll go through those 3 games from last night. We'll also talk about the 3 games on slate for tonight, all 3 of those games on Prime Video. 4 o'clock, Bruce Marshall from the Gold Sheet. He'll join us. We'll talk a lot more wagering with Bruce. We'll get a couple of his thoughts from the NFL draft last week, some other stories around the sports world, including this Swarsby story that just feels like every day we get more and more information on him and what's going on with him in Texas Tech.
And a tradition unlike any other with Bruce. He's going to break down the Derby for us. He will in 2 weeks, the Preakness and then the Belmont. You can't get him to give you the 4th horse. He will not do it. It's win, play, show. That's it.
I love it. Oh, hey, he's a man that likes to do it his way, and he's not going to change for anybody. I like it. He's a man that knows what he likes to do. So we'll do that with Bruce Marshall. 4:30, Brad Bellamy from Landers Ford. He'll join us. We'll certainly talk
He's going to give us all 4.
He definitely will. We'll talk about everything going on out at Landers Ford, but we'll definitely get to the Kentucky Derby and his thoughts on the horses this weekend. 4:45, big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Dick Girardi. He joins us every single year on this day to talk about the Kentucky Derby. So we'll talk a lot of Derby with him. We will have to talk some college basketball.
15 with Dick joining us on Friday.
No, it's been a really, really long time with Dick. So we'll certainly talk the Derby, but we'll also have to talk some college basketball with him. Obviously, a rich history of covering college basketball. We'll get his thoughts every year. It feels like we've asked him about the expanded college basketball tournament, and now we're here, so we'll get his thoughts on all of that. We'll talk with Dick about 18, 19 minutes or so. We'll get out a little early with him. We'll, make our picks for the Kentucky Derby right around at that time, and then we'll get to an early.
Got a hockey series to pick, too.
We do have to pick a hockey series. We try to squeeze that in maybe 3:45 or 4:45. Well, Brett, you were the one that told me we had
my Flyers.
How about your
Silly
Flyers
me.
tomorrow? That gets started. So yeah, we definitely have to pick that series in hockey. We'll try to do that around 3:45, 4:45 or so, and then about 5:20 we'll get to an early Moe's Crunch Time because again we're out early today. Ole Miss baseball on the road against Arkansas. Pregame show starting at 5:30 for that first pitch at 6 o'clock. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. The Hot Tub and Swim Spa Expo is going on right now through May 10th, so you still have a little bit of time to get out there and take advantage. That's because 7 manufacturers, they're all fighting for your business in the battle of the brands. Hot tubs starting at $34.99 with Swim Spa starting at just $16,999. Mention this ad and receive a free cover lift with your spa purchase. So head out there to Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
We are Sports Time, and we're live and local and with you until about 5:30 today. We'll get out early, as Bryant said, for Ole Miss and Arkansas in baseball. That's Brian. I'm Brett. Our producer's Landon Schmidt. We're Sports Time, and we want you to be a part of our show by texting or calling 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. All our guests will join us on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line at 901-360-8255. Always from our Family Leisure Studios, and proud and grateful for that to the great people at Family Leisure. In this hour, every day brought to you by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2026 models and always special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. You can call them at 901-334-9673. But stop by the only Lexus dealership in Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2026 flagship LS500, and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the safe luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, it is the Memphis Tigers. An extremely busy day today. Earlier this morning, it was Tylik Weeks who committed to Penny Hardaway and the Memphis program, a player that averaged nearly 20 points a game last season for Southern Miss, led the team in scoring, one of the most used players in the country in terms of usage rates, and one of the better scorers in the country, ranking in the top 40 across the country when it comes to points per game. So you go out there, you add a scorer, and now just breaking, Cornelius Williams has transferred to Memphis. He committed just about 10-15 minutes ago. That's a massive rebounder. What he can do, averaging nearly 10 rebounds per game, averaged about 12.5 points per game last season at North Alabama. So you've got a rebounder, you've got a scorer. Today they also hired a strength and conditioning coach from Kansas State. So a extremely busy day for Penny Hardaway and that roster, now at 13 guys, really starting to take shape.
It really is, and a great offseason so far, and
really
needed, and it makes everybody look real forward to next year. My top story, I know the margin of the Knicks win over Atlanta is what has everyone talking, and that 51 really felt like 51. Sometimes, it was 51 that might have felt even bigger. No, it felt like the pounding that 51 is. But the Hawks are out. But now Boston or Philly awaits the Knicks. But the other two results last night, I think, were really bigger stories. That margin was huge. That pounding, it spoke volumes. But Nikola Jokic out in the first round, and Boston pushed to a 7th game by what's been their punching bag, really, the last few years in Philadelphia. They got to go out on the parquet tomorrow night and close out a Game 7. Denver in prime Nikola Jokic. They only win it one time.
Yeah. It's hard to believe.
And it makes me think here, and he says they're that far from being in contention, then how far are we?
Yeah, no, it's a really good point. I mean, far away. That's the answer.
But I think we know that.
Yes.
It's eyes wide open. We know it.
No, it absolutely is. It is very different situations for sure.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day, it is the NBA playoffs and really what Minnesota did last night against the Denver Nuggets, really taking advantage in the front court on the offensive rebounds, in the second chance points, 19 offensive rebounds last night for Minnesota, only 6 for the Denver Nuggets. They took advantage of those second chance opportunities. They took advantage of points in the paint, and you look around, it was really everybody helping out for Minnesota. You had Jaden McDaniels who had 32 points, Terrence Shannon Jr. with 24 points, Julius Randle with 18, Rudy Gobert with 10 and 13 off the bench. Naz Reid gives you 15 points. It was everybody stepping up, and they only played 8 guys. They had those starters out there pretty much all night. On the other side, it was really Nikola Jokic and Cam Johnson and really nobody else. You got 12 points from Jamal Murray, but he was 4 for 17 from the field, 13 from Tim Hardaway Jr. off the bench in 21 minutes. So you got to give hats off to Minnesota, give them a lot of credit for the way they were able to win this game and win this series, minus everyone talking about the one superstar, but missing 2 starters over these last couple of games. Really, really impressive stuff for the Timberwolves.
My not top story, it is Kentucky Derby weekend this weekend, and in 2 weeks it will be the Preakness. It will not be at Pimlico, though. This year at Laurel Park, as Pimlico's being remodeled. And next year, it may not be in 2 weeks. That could get changed. We'll ask Dick Girardi and everybody weighing in on horse racing today about that. They know that 2 weeks is too tight to often get the winner of the Kentucky Derby. We will have Triple Crown Fever. Well, out of this weekend, there will only be one horse that can win it, but you can't win it if you don't run in 2 weeks, and they just don't want to do it for some reason. And going forward, the Belmont this year, for the 3rd straight year, will not be at Belmont Park. It'll be at Saratoga. So we're sorting a lot out in a sport that really comes down to 3 big races. I know for the diehards, I know that irritates you, but for the rest of us, for the rest of the folks, Vox Populi, the Latin term for the people, it comes down to 3 weeks. It just does.
It does.
And I enjoy it for those 3 weeks.
No, it's fun to turn on and watch, but
if I could afford to, I'd hang out at the track.
Sure, yeah, but no.
But I can't afford it.
No, very, very hard to afford that. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's get to our first break, and when we return, we'll talk some wagering. Alan Bell from Driving the Line, he joins us next.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time, free gun rentals with purchase of ammo, and members lounge access. Top Gun, 2770 Witten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
Looking for a new home? Then look to the real estate agent who can help you find just what you're looking for. Lauren Tag Hill with Ware Jones Realtors. Hi, I'm Lauren, and I know the Memphis housing market in and out. Whether you are buying or selling, I've got you covered. So stop looking, start living in your new home today. Call me at 901-550-0330 or my office, 901-450-4011, or go to our website, warejones.com, and let Lauren Hill make your dream home become a reality.
You are an adult. You can drink anywhere you want to. So why would you go to some chain bar when you could be one of the cool kids and go to Bell Tavern, Memphis's perfect downtown neighborhood bar? Things are hopping in downtown Memphis, and Bell Tavern is smack dab in the middle of it. You know where nothing is happening? A big, loud chain bar full of people that don't know about Bell Tavern. Come on, visit Bell Tavern and feel better than other people.
Rick's Powder Coating, for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Coming up on Back Porch Sports.
We're going to go over how the SEC fared in last week's NFL draft, as well as ponder who might hear their names called next year. And it's been 15 years since former Arkansas and Ole Miss coach Houston Nutt roamed the sidelines of the SEC. We're going to look back at his career and ask him how he'd do if he were still coaching in 2026. All that and more Saturday morning. Be sure to join us.
Back Porch Sports, Saturday mornings at 10 on Sports 56 AM and 98.5 FM.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Doing pretty good already around that 101 connector with a little bit more volume in the last few minutes over here on I-40 as you come past Watkins, going outbound on Austin Peay Highway. Right when you come off the interstate, it looks like it's picked up quite a bit as that volume of traffic also increases. 51 headed on up towards the Millington area. Bridal season, hey, it's just around the corner, so shop local. Do it this weekend at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we've got to talk some wagering. Joining us now from Driving the Line, it's Alan Bell. Alan, thanks so much for joining us. A lot to get to with a very busy sports weekend, but let's start with some Major League Baseball. One game in progress right now. Cubs up 6-5 over the Diamondbacks, but what do you make of this weekend slate we have across Major League Baseball?
Yeah, man. First, I appreciate you guys having me back. Starting some new series today. We got the Dodgers and the Cardinals. That's going to be a really fun series in St. Louis. Taking a look at the Yankees here. Aaron Judge is in a great spot. If you're looking at player props here, Aaron Judge is in a great hitting spot. Weather is fantastic up there. So, yeah, man, that's what I'm looking at. I'm really ready for this Dodgers-Cardinals series. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I hope you had the over on Cubs this afternoon because 6-5's got to be over, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. 8.5, baby. We're home.
Oh, good. Baby. You did. Good. That's good. And the over and unders, the pitching early in the year, I think, has been dominant. Has it been an over or under year for you?
It's been over, to be honest with you. And the surprising part is you're right. Like, there's been kind of a clear delineation. If you have a solid number one, number two guy, those guys have been dominating. But other than that, buddy, 3, 4, 5 in the pitching rotations have been getting mashed across Major League Baseball. We see hot weather here and a lot of storms in the Midwest too, which generally increases run production because you have humidity in the air. Yeah, man, like it's been over. It's been nice so far, but I've got a feeling that curve's going to come back around. Major League Baseball usually does.
And Alan, the key part of the staffs now, it's not the starter, it's not the relief pitcher, it's those middle inning holders.
You're not lying there, man. That fifth inning is so incredibly important in Major League Baseball. It is about getting the starter out, and just like you said, those bridge pitchers, man, those middle relief guys are getting worn out.
No, they absolutely are. Looking at some of these games this afternoon, I'm curious your thoughts on the Giants and Rays. Obviously, Tony Vitello, he's working through his first season as a Major League manager. What have you thought of the job he's done with his Giants team, and anything you like in this matchup tonight?
Yeah. So I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Yeah, look, Tony's doing better, man. He's doing a good job.
He's got nothing as a team.
100%, man. And the way it started, everybody was pretty much out on him, but he's kind of turned around, at least in regards to perspective of where San Francisco is supposed to be. Now, you take a look at that series. I like the Giants. They're hitting the ball, buddy. I don't mind overs in this one. If you want to look at Giants team total, that's generally set at 3.5 or 4.5. Don't mind that at all. I think you're going to get runs, but again, man, the Giants can go cold, but their bats have been hot lately. So just keep riding team totals and keep riding runs.
The weather. Are you watching the weather? You always have to be watching the weather in Colorado, where the Braves, the Red Hot Braves, best record in baseball, they go into Denver. The over and under just 10.5 for Coors Field.
10.5 in a Major League Baseball game. Is that not crazy?
Yeah, that's T-ball.
Yeah, exactly. You need 11 runs to get it, man. Look, the launch pad in Colorado, it's there, and it is set up. You have winds that's blowing out. It generally does not in Colorado, which would be scary. You'd have like 19-run games. But it's blowing out here, and the Braves are hitting the ball. They had a little bit of a dry spot against Detroit yesterday, but other than that, man, you should be stated. But I can't sit here and say take 11 runs. That's so many,
College baseball this weekend, Ole Miss at Arkansas in the SEC into May play, and everybody jockeying for seeding for Hoover.
Big time. This is a massive weekend. You just nailed it. Ole Miss at Arkansas. We got Mississippi State at Texas. You've got LSU, who needs wins. Tennessee's at Kentucky. They need wins. 3 weeks left in the college baseball season, and then we begin conference tournaments. Yeah, it's time to go, man. That Ole Miss Arkansas is going to be a heck of a series. Mississippi State, Texas, that total set at 8. 4-4 gets you an over in that game.
Wow. What do you like?
I like the over, but, man, Mississippi State, Texas can throw. They both are led by their pitching. They can hit. They don't necessarily have to the way that they want to win. They want to win a nice 7-2 ball game. Unfortunately, only one can do it. Give me the over and runs. It's going to be tight, though. You're going to look at 9 or 10. But if you're sitting at an 8 and an even number, give it to me all day.
So Friday night, lower because everybody's throwing aces. What will Sunday look like in between State and Texas?
About 14.5. Yeah. It'll be high for sure.
Are they playing at Coors Field?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So you nailed it, though, too, because exactly right, man. As you're looking at betting college baseball, especially through the weekend, it's more than one day, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes even Thursday. You see totals go up after, aces throw on Fridays, Saturdays 2s, Sunday 3s. You're going to see a big total there. It'll probably be about 12.5, but it won't be too high because these teams like to pitch, man. They're good at it.
Alan, I always love to ask you about your strategy and kind of how you approach a lot of these games. Kind of going back to Major League Baseball, the Red Sox, they're throwing a rookie today, making his Major League debut. Jake Bennett going to be on the mound. He's really good in AAA this season in 5 starts. How do you look at it any differently when you kind of are looking through all these games and you see a guy making his Major League debut on the mound? Does that kind of jump out to you? Do you handicap those games differently? How do you approach these games when it's somebody making their first ever start on the mound?
Yeah, that's a great question. Great question. And number one, there's risk because you don't know what you're going to get. He could come out throw a no-hitter, right? Or come out and get shelled. More times, it's the latter. They usually get shelled, man. Major League Baseball, buddy, those dudes can hit, right? So I like looking at runs there. But, again, you have to be careful because if you just had 5 of them, 3 of them will hit the over, 1 of them will hover around, and 1 of them, the guy's going to go off. So you do have to be careful with risk. But for the most part, buddy, you got a rookie, that's fresh meat right there.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I remember, I think it was last year with Chase Burns when he made his debut. His first game, he was like awesome. I mean, he struck out 7 guys and was just elite. And I think it was against
2 beginners luck.
Yeah, I think it was against the Yankees, and he didn't give up many runs. He was awesome. His next game, I don't even know if he made it out of the first inning. I think he gave up like 6 or 7 runs and was just awful. And so yeah, it's very much a risk when you talk about these guys making their first starts.
Oh, big time. And look, once the coaches get one piece of film on you, it's over, buddy. It's over there.
That book gets around. Please tell me last night you had the Knicks, not Atlanta.
Yeah.
I did. I had the Knicks. I also had the Nuggets, so I can't post too much.
Well, you're honest.
But yeah, the Knicks.
You always are.
Exactly. What a game was by the Knicks, man. That was unbelievable, man. That was a big time performance.
Yeah, no, it was really good. Anything you like tonight in these 3 NBA games?
Oh, man, 3 massive games here. Look, I like Houston against the Lakers, and it's nothing against LeBron. I just don't know if he has enough horsepower with him, man. Austin Reeves should, do his thing tonight. But honestly, I think Houston's going to force a Game 7. You look at the Magic. I believe they're 3.5-point underdogs here to Detroit. And, man, I'm going Magic plus 3.5. I believe in Orlando. Detroit is good, but they've let me down too many times. I'm going with the Magic plus 3.5 there. What about you, man? What do you think?
That would close out that series.
Yeah, no, I think it really would. I mean, that would be big time. The one that and it's the one game you didn't talk about. This is the one that I'm having the most back and forth about. This Cavs Raptors games. Cavs a 4.5-point favorite on the road, looking to win this series. But man, 4.5. That just seems like a really tricky number in a series that's been really tight through all 5 of these games.
Yeah, you know what it is, man? It mirrors last night of Boston and Philly, to be honest with you. I don't like the fact that Cleveland, the same thing with Boston yesterday, they have a Game 7 at home in their back pocket. I don't like that in terms of betting in a Game 6. That's why I'm rolling underdogs here, man.
I like that.
I think we're going to see Game 7.
Alan, as I told you in our text today, we are the official show for the Stanley Cup playoffs here in Memphis because we give at least 5 minutes a day to it. That's right. That's double more than anybody else. Anything in the hockey you like this weekend?
No, and I'm not going to be able to help you on that one. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest with you. I don't. Now, let me also say this: the Stanley Cup postseason might be the best playoffs in all of sports.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
Last night in St. Paul was great.
But like I don't have a play. I'm not educated on it from a betting perspective, so I won't throw stuff at you. But it's awesome, yeah.
And that's from a former Pred mascot, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you will get honesty on this show, whether you want it or not. You're going to get it. So.
Okay, well, give us honestly a lot of horses in the Kentucky Derby. Give us a win-placed show and a 4th place if you can.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you one, and it's going to be Chief. That's who we're going with. All right, we're putting our money in. Now, I do like a win-play show. Have you set any of them? Because I'll be honest, I've got to do more homework. I'm not a horse racing expert, but I got to do more. I like Chief to get the win, though. Where are you guys at?
Chief Wallaby, the 12 horse?
Yes, sir.
I like Renegade, if for no other reason. We heard it a lot last weekend in Pittsburgh at the draft.
Yeah, Renegade sounds good up there, yeah. This is going to be, I'm hoping we don't have rain, man. It feels like always we get rain in the Kentucky Derby. Hopefully we can get a dry day. It'd be nice.
Have you ever been?
No, I haven't. I've been outside. I've never been to the event, never even been in Churchill Downs. But I've been outside. It looked awesome. What about you? Have you gone?
I have not. Is it on a top 5, top 10, anywhere on the radar of a bucket list for you to go to?
Yeah, top 5 for sure, man. I would love to go to it. However, you know what I mean? Whether we're in the infield, up in the seats with the expensive folks, I'd get in anyway, man.
It's number 2 for me. It was 1 for a long time. 1 for me, and I think next summer, summer of 27, I'm going to get it with British Open at St. Andrews. But I think Kentucky Derby, in obviously British Open, but both of them, I just want to go once. Now, I said that for years about the Masters, that I just want to go once. I would go every year if I could, and I've been a bunch since the first time.
Yeah, I've been to a couple practice. I've never been to a Thursday or through Sunday event, but been to a couple practice rides, and those were awesome. I didn't want to leave, and it was great. No cell phone, nothing, man. You were just enjoying it. British Open, man. St. Andrews, that's bucket list, top of the list.
But Kentucky Derby's up there. It would be
cool
for
me.
Big
time.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's so cool, and I love the legacy of it, and it's like it's just once a year, and you get it, and everybody knows what time it is. It's awesome, man. It's a great Saturday.
Looks like a real long day, but going to golf's a real long day.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely it is. It does seem long though. They start getting Mike Tirico out there at like 12 noon, and you're like, man, we've got 5.5 hours of coverage of this.
They do. The pregame is right up there with Super Bowl pregames.
It really is, man. They go all day. They love it.
But Mike Tirico can deliver. He could do pickleball all day, and it would make it listenable.
I know. I've got so much respect. I've never met the man, but he seems awesome, and he's obviously one of the best to ever do it, man. Tirico's great.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun over the weekend watching all this action. As always, Alan, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll do it again next Friday.
And good luck.
Look, thank you, boys. Appreciate y'all. Good luck to you as well, and we'll talk next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alan. Alan Bell joining us like he always does from Driving the Line, giving us picks, a little bit of everything this afternoon, as it really is a very, very busy weekend across the sports world. But we need to go ahead and get to another break. When we return, got to talk these NBA playoffs. 3 games last night, 3 games tonight. We might go ahead and make our pick in the next hockey series that we need to select today. So we'll do all that next on Sports Time.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening is coming to the Graceland Soundstage. Saturday, May 9th at 8 p.m. Jason's thunderous drumming recalls one of the greatest to ever sit behind the skins, his late father, John Bonham of Led Zeppelin. This is as close as you will ever get to letting the lead out live. Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Get your tickets today at GracelandLive.com.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Do you know what Penny Hardaway and I have in common? We should both be in that building celebrating the best basketball players of all time. Of course, I'll have to buy a ticket to get in, but he should already be there. But seriously, we both surround ourselves with the best people we can find. We work hard to achieve our goals, and we are both among the best in our respective fields. At Fiveash, we can't win titles or get national awards, but what we can and do strive to do is give 100% of ourselves to give you the best product possible and one you can be proud of. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call at 901-367-0050, and we will do everything we can to provide you the best of everything. Fiveash Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing is what we do. We're here for you.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
It's golf time. What's my first thought? Miramichi. Of course, Miramichi. Sometimes you need just to escape the hustle and bustle of life, and that's exactly what Miramichi will provide. It means the place of happy retreat, and I promise you, it lives up to its name. While it might not be in the heart of Shelby County, it's certainly worth the drive. It's 25 minutes from my driveway in East Memphis. Once you arrive at the front door, you know you're going to get an experience unlike any other public golf course in town. Let's start with practice facilities. Not all are created equal, and you will find none better than those at Miramichi. The range is an impressive 12-acre space. It allows you to spread out and practice where those long drives. They got a great short game place. They've got a chipping green. They've got a putting green. They're beyond compare. You want to get better? You go to Miramichi. You want a great competitive golf course? You go to Miramichi. It's worth the drive. I love it. Miramichi.
The playoffs are in full force, and you can trade every game and series on Kalshi. Boston is trading at 50% to make the finals. That means a $100 trade pays out $200 if they win the conference. On Kalshi, you're trading against others in a live market. That means no house and no odds makers. And as the odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app. Use code WATCH to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
We talked a little bit about the NBA playoffs during our first segment, but last night was a it was a night. That's one way to describe it. The first game was not a game at all. Knicks roll 140-89 on the road against Atlanta. The second game, a little bit of a surprise. 76ers get that win 106-93 at home to force a Game 7. And then in the final game of the night, the Timberwolves with a 110-98 win over the Denver Nuggets. To win that series, advance to the second round. Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets eliminated in the first round. Now we'll see when they can get Anthony Edwards back.
And when is that?
Well, that's a good question. He was listed as week to week, so I think you got to imagine he'll miss game 1, game 2 maybe, and I guess the hope would be maybe have him back around game 3, game 4. But now that they've advanced, I mean they're definitely going to be doing everything they can to try to get him back on the court.
And pretty tough task with him healthy against San Antonio.
Yeah, no, it's going to be
more experience for Minnesota.
No, it definitely is, and so it was going to be whatever team got out of these other two series in the West, Lakers, Rockets, Nuggets, Timberwolves, it's going to be really tough. I mean, the Thunder and the Spurs have separated themselves as the top two teams, clearly the top two teams in the Western Conference this season. And so, definitely going to be a tough task. I'll really enjoy watching the Victor Wembanyama, Rudy Gobert matchups over these next however many games, and who can have the edge down there. On the block, but this will be tough, especially if you're missing Anthony Edwards for 2, 3, 4 games. It feels like it's going to be really, really hard for them to match up against the Spurs.
I don't think Houston will come back and win the series, but if they do, the last 4 remaining teams, the final 4 in the West, Oklahoma City, Houston, Minnesota, and San Antonio, all Central Time Zone teams.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a really good point. So yeah, I guess we're rooting for the Rockets to make this all Central.
The NBA's not.
No, they're definitely not. They're
rooting for the Lakers
for a lot of reasons.
To drag in that audience and the panache of the Lakers.
Yeah, so we'll see if they can get it done. It feels like this is a big one. To get this Game 6 win tonight, if they can do that, advance, all good. If they lose, now you're talking about a Game 7 against the Rockets, and then the questions will be, will Kevin Durant be able to play in Game 7? And then a lot of pressure's on.
And in the East, Detroit trying to come back. If they can't, Orlando would advance from there, waiting on the winner of Cleveland and Toronto. Mm-hmm. I think Cleveland still wins it.
Yeah, I think so.
Not many had Cleveland in the Magic in the Eastern semifinals.
No, definitely not. But we were talking about it with Alan Bell, and I liked what he said about Cleveland kind of has that Game 7 in their back pocket. So I'm curious to see how they play tonight. If they say let's go ahead and wrap this up, or if they kind of struggle, let the Raptors win and take it back home for Game 7. Both those games really, really big tonight to see what sets up for that next round.
They won't. Nobody will do this, but somebody should for the Knicks. You've done nothing so far. Mm-hmm. You've done what you were supposed to do. Mm-hmm. You were supposed to advance. Mm-hmm. Don't get too puffy about winning that series. If you're the Knicks, who do you prefer, Celtics or Philadelphia?
Oh, definitely. I think Philadelphia, even though they've had those trouble. Oh, yeah, I think so. Even though they've had those troubles, I think the 76ers, obviously, depending on the health of Embiid, and that can change.
Keith Smith said it yesterday. Boston inside game is lacking.
No, it definitely is. But I do think the Celtics are a more complete team than the 76ers. Now if we're talking about Joel Embiid is 100%, then my answer might be different. But until I see him 100%, I'd say they'd rather see the 76ers. But I think either's going to be tough. I mean, I'm not going to pick the Knicks no matter if it's the 76ers or the Celtics. I'm probably going to pick against them in the next round just because I just don't love this Knicks team, and I think either's going to be really, really tough.
I don't either, but I'm starting not to love the Celtics as much as I thought I did.
Yeah, well, I mean, last night was it was weird watching that game and how it played out. But
Paul George is playing great.
No, he is. It's kind of turned back the clock for a lot of these guys, and so that's going to be a big Game 7. I think Boston still gets it done. They're 7.5-point favorite at home, but with the addition now of Joel Embiid, that has been a difference maker in this series. You can see it, in that front court play that he changes a lot down there, and that could be a big weapon in Game 7.
Second round of the Stanley Cup playoff starts tomorrow night, 7:00 ABC. Carolina, towels will be waving, won't they?
Yeah, no. Well, Carolina's a great hockey town.
It is. It really is. Against the Flyers, picks Landon, Philadelphia or Carolina?
Oh, Carolina all the way.
All the way. That was with real conviction. Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Carolina as well.
Thank y'all both. Thank you.
I like this Carolina team. Nothing against the Flyers.
Leaves me my Flyers.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh no, there's stuff against the Flyers.
Bryce, you had Flyers first round too.
I did. Yeah. So
through completed series, you're 3-1. I'm 3-1.
Right.
Landon's 2-2.
All right, I like it. So yeah, we'll see what happens there, and some fun games tonight in hockey. Lightning, Canadians, Sabres,
Jack Hughes
Bruins.
has had a year, hasn't he?
No, he has. He's Quinn Hughes. That's the wrong Hughes. Jack Hughes with New Jersey.
I was going along fine trying to talk hockey.
There you go. I mean, hey, but you nailed it. It was one of the two. But
the other one's with New Jersey.
Yeah, the other two are with New Jersey. There's two of them: Luke Hughes and Jack Hughes. They're with New Jersey, and then Quinn Hughes is with. He was with.
So who had the winner against Canada?
Jack Hughes did, but Quinn Hughes played well. Played really well.
Who had the winner last night?
Quinn Hughes did
to go up.
Quinn Hughes, did.
And then the empty net they piled it on.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, Quinn Hughes with Minnesota.
Did you see the from way downtown?
No, I didn't. I didn't get to watch much of that game. I was keeping an eye on it, but I didn't get to see a ton of it last night.
I was going along so well, so I tried to talk more hockey.
But hey, I like at least that you got the Hughes part right. That's certainly a start for sure. But the hockey's been good, basketball's been good, and we'll see how many of these series over both basketball and hockey get closed out tonight. It's going to be a really fun night between the two, and sets up a great weekend. We've been talking a lot about it, but with all the basketball, all the hockey, the baseball, the Kentucky Derby, I mean, pick whatever you want to watch. It's all at the UFL. I mean, we can't forget about the UFL.
Are we gonna pick the Avalanche and Wild?
No, because
that's Monday.
That's Monday, so we'll pick that on Monday. So
we'll have the people wait for those picks.
I mean, we are the hockey show. So I figured we'd just take care of it all.
Got to keep them on the edge of their seats. So we'll do that on Monday.
We can't give them everything on a Friday.
No, definitely not. Got to keep people waiting. But let's go ahead and wrap up this first hour. Get to a break, and when we return, we're talking more wagering. Bruce Marshall from the Gold Sheet. He joins us next.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? And if you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Hawley, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified by the state of Tennessee. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at LawnSolutionsInc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
Here's something you don't see every day. It's a full-on brawl at Family Leisure. Oh, yeah. There's a battle of the brands happening right now through May the 10th with 7 different manufacturers all fighting it out for your business. Listen to this opening blow. Hot tubs starting at $34.99. Ouch! Then followed up with a mean right hook of swim spas starting at $16,999. That's a starting price. There are so many deals right now at Family Leisure, and the prices are just too low for me to even mention on the radio. One thing I can tell you, if you stop by Family Leisure and tell them you heard this on the radio, you're going to get a free cover lift with your spa purchase. But you better hurry in before all these great deals get knocked out. Technically, this is called the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Expo, but we're calling it the Battle of the Brands, happening now through May 10th at Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun come together.
Chris Price here with Metro Builders. In the wake of recent storms in the Mid-South, we saw severe damage, and our prayers go out to all those impacted. Believe it or not, much of this damage has still not been discovered. Most of us do not look up and take notice to displaced shingles, small water stains on our ceilings, and many of the silent ways water attacks our homes. This type of silent damage is unsightly, and if left for a period of time, become unhealthy to you and your family. At Metro Builders, our team of Hague-certified technicians and fully trained estimators are ready to come out, evaluate any concerns you may have, from climbing your roof and evaluating your shingles or TPO to opening a wall or ceiling for further inspection. We get paid to look up and climb. If you have an insurance claim that requires restoration or need a contractor that accepts all insurance carrier scopes, Metro Builders understands the way to restore a home or office either back to its pre-existing condition or upgrading that space. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717 or MetroBuildersMemphis.com.
Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis has serious vans for serious work. At 4430 American Way, they are the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet? New or used, they've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter Van headquarters. 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road. This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's starting to get busy now. The normal spots for this time of day coming southbound, especially here on 240 at South Parkway. The further south you go in Memphis, you could see some radar down through there. At least that was the case earlier on 55 down through certain parts of DeSoto County. It's crowded now. Certain sections of Sam Cooper, especially going outbound here up by Perkins. Hey, don't let a slipping transmission make things worse on your car or truck if you're having transmission issues. Even if your light comes on, bring your vehicle right now to Amco Transmissions with 2 area Memphis locations. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our second hour on this Friday afternoon. We've got to talk some more wagering. We do it at this time every single Friday with Bruce Marshall.
Joining the guys every Friday is college football historian and Vegas legend Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insiders, CBS Sports, and his own website, bamsports.net. With over 30 years on Memphis radio, with handicapping and sports talk, here's Bruce Marshall with Bryant and Brett.
Bruce Marshall Marshall joins us now to talk some wagering. Plenty to get into with a very, very busy weekend around the sports world. But I am curious your thoughts on this Brendan Sorsby story that's been making its rounds this week. As you know, it came out earlier this week that he was putting himself in sort of rehab program for his gambling addiction, and now pretty much every day we're learning more and more about what he was doing, including gambling and betting on his own team, Indiana, when he was redshirting there as a true freshman. What do you make of this story for Sorsby and for Texas Tech?
First thing I thought about it, Brian, was what does Cody Campbell think about this? This is the guy they paid a lot of money for to transfer into Texas Tech. I don't see any way, from what we know thus far, that he could not be suspended before next season comes up. So I think that's coming, or if it hasn't happened already, I can't see him playing with all this stuff coming out. I'm not shocked when I hear stories like this, and I have to think it's probably a lot more widespread. We just don't know about it, all these cases. But how a guy could be that, could bet on these insane, the proposition bets and all that. And I guess that's what happens if you're addicted to it. But a lot of these bets that guys like him are making are not even bets, really. It's just really coin flips, and that's bad. But the bigger picture, again, is that this stuff is available. I don't think it should be, but I don't know what can be done legislatively to curb that, the way each state has a different set of laws for these sports books and the sort of bets that are allowed and aren't. And it's, for Congress to get involved in some overarching legislation hasn't happened. I don't think it will happen. In a lot of ways, I don't think it should. But it's just, some common sense here. And when it comes to the sports gaming stuff, for a lot of people, common sense is just out the window. And unfortunately, a lot of these, the big sports books are almost predatory in a way, in the way they prey on some of these guys. I can't help but think back to Shohei Ohtani's interpreter and how he could have lost so much money. It's hard to lose as much money as he lost.
Did he ever win?
He did. Yeah, I mean, you got to win to lose some. I would, but in his case, they just kept losing. It looked like. But Sorsby, I don't know. This is I'd be shocked if he's not ineligible in the fall.
Bruce, I had a lot of the same thoughts. The first thing I thought is he's played his last college game, if for no other reason, his own protection against he goes out there next year and the first time he throws that out route and it's picked off and it's returned for a touchdown, the chorus of is he on the take? He can't have that. I don't know that he can have it in the NFL, and he can go into the NFL supplemental draft, and he might get selected by somebody. But Bruce, I thought of Cody Campbell. Also thought of Art Schlichter. I know you know who that is, and a lot in our audience would. It was a very troubled person in the late 70s at Ohio State, superstar, high draft pick by the Colts, and just wrecked his life. And a lot of the Sorsby story read a lot like the Art Schlichter story.
It did, and Schlichter really messed things up for himself. Interestingly, he was doing it in an era when betting was not legalized the way it is now.
It was very verboten.
Right, and so it's a wee bit different here. So that's what I think is actually a little more alarming about this, because it's so easy for somebody now to get, and then actually, okay, so Sorsby, but I'm thinking about countless other people, and a lot of college kids who aren't football players, who are playing, are addicted to this stuff. And, once in a while I run into some college kids too, guys, and a lot of them are betting. I don't know how much they're betting, but something tells me it might be pretty significant. That's not what their folks' money is for, sending them to college, but a lot of them are using it for that. But I'm actually, Sorsby is just the headliner here, but I think it underlines a much bigger problem. I mean, if he's the only problem, it's not really a problem. The problem is, I have a feeling there are countless others who are lost in this abyss and caught in this sports gaming thing, and that's what really troubles me.
And Bruce, I'm stunned, and I've asked Brian on and off the air, these apps, all the stuff on your phone, do they have that much information on you? And if you're a college star player of any renown, if you're known at all, the blackmail aspect of it.
Yes, that could happen as well. And I would think, a lot of the guys are probably smart enough. They're not using their own account, or they're betting to a friend or something like that, if they're doing it, if any players are doing it. And again, I have no specific knowledge of any other players doing it, other than I would bet there are plenty, but nothing specific. But I mean, you would generally you'd have somebody else making the bets for you, so it would be a little harder to trace. But I don't know the specifics of the Sorsby situation. But you're right. I mean, you got blackmail, all sorts of bad things can come of it. But again, though, I think the problem with this stuff is just the type of bets that are available, and people who are betting them shouldn't be. And Sorsby's just the most highly publicized. But I'm worried about all the other young men, or women even too, college students who are betting too much on this stuff who shouldn't, who are not players, but who are just caught into this vortex, and it's not good.
Yeah, no, it's a really good point. I remember there was some sort of number that came out about a month or two ago about how many kind of men between it was like 20 and 40 that have active sports betting accounts open. And then there was another one from ESPN that said 1 in 3 young adults bet on sports before turning 21. So, it is something that a lot of people are getting their hands on. And most of those people aren't educated or kind of know how to use these apps and manage their money. And so, yeah, it can get out of hand pretty quick.
Yeah, and I think that's a bigger problem here. And, Sorsby's just sort of like the decorative piece of this thing. But and if any other players are involved, but there are thousands of more doing this beyond the football players, and that's where my concern is, because there's so many. I think what's remarkable is I think this industry, how they've kept some of this news out of the mainstream here, and I think there's a lot of people invested now in keeping this stuff going because they spend so much advertising money, the sports books right now, and there's a reason to not pollute that water too much. And they just, news on this stuff is, unless it's headline making like Sorsby, it just never sees the light of day. But I am convinced under the surface it's happening.
Yeah, Bruce, and we're not just cozy with it anymore. For so long, you just hardly could talk about it. News information only, all the qualifiers. Now we are hip deep in it.
We are hip deep in it, and it all happened. I'm still amazed the way this whole thing changed, and I think we mentioned it on the air here before that if New Jersey didn't push this, and believe me, it was them, and they were the only one. Now there are a lot of states following behind them, but they had the gumption to challenge this. We'd still in 2026 be just where we were in 2015, 2011. Whatever, it would still be taboo. It took somebody to really push that, and it always existed with Las Vegas was the only place you can do it, and then a couple states had the parlay cards, and that was it, and everything else was underground. But if it wasn't for New Jersey and their doggedness, and there's a real interesting legal tale here, none of this would have happened. And it's New Jersey's fault and New Jersey's credit, but they're the ones who got this ball rolling.
And we're never going backwards, because these states now, just like for tobacco or lottery, it is blood to a vampire. They have to have it for those budgets. I love all the people that are so anti-tobacco and cigarettes that I always kind of hoped, one of these good government states, Vermont, New Hampshire, maybe even Minnesota, somebody, okay, if it's so bad for you, it's illegal in our state. But they were never going to do that because they wanted that income.
That's right. And again, alcohol sales too. Well, there was a time when prohibition, but that changed too. But I also, as far as the sports betting go, I always circle back to the pro leagues and how adamant they were against all this for all those years, and fighting it all the way to the Supreme Court, fighting New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And as soon as they overturned PASPA, immediately, within like 24 hours, they embraced it. I have never seen an about face like that in my life. the way all the the pro sports leagues and the networks after challenging it and resisting and spending money to resist, completely turned around. I'd love somebody to ask Roger Goodell about that someday and explain how you could be so adamantly against sports gaming, and then as soon as the Supreme Court changed the law, you embraced it immediately. Mm-hmm. Hypocrisy, maybe, but it was certainly an incredible about face.
Do you think Paul Hornung could ever get his apology?
It's interesting, when you think back to the Hornung and Karras and the stuff that happened with them in the early 60s. So occasionally we've this stuff has come up. Heck, nowadays, I mean, if this stuff happened years ago, Hornung would have been a perfect spokesman for
sure would have.
One of the big sports books.
Yeah, no, it definitely would be. Before we get to some picks for this weekend, you mentioned the NFL draft. Curious your thoughts on last weekend's draft and kind of what we saw with especially the quarterback position and guys like Garrett Nussmeier getting taken in the 7th round. Some other interesting names coming off the board Friday and Saturday last week.
I think the best pick in the draft wasn't even picked. I'll explain. Right after the draft ended, Carolina signed Haynes King immediately, like within minutes, I think. And it was basically like a mid-round level contract. He went through unpicked for a couple of angles here. One, I think Carolina thinks he's a potential successor to Bryce Young. If Bryce Young washes out, they think King's, and I'm reading the stuff Carolina's talking about him. They're going to look at him in preseason. They'll keep him around. I think Andy Dalton's still there, but this is the guy they think has a chance if Bryce Young should not take it the next step that maybe could do it. He was bypassed by everybody, and there is no way. This is insane. NFL draft, combine, groupthink. If anybody thinks that Ethan Kalimanakis, the quarterback from Rutgers in Minnesota, the Commanders drafted him in the 7th round and didn't take Haynes King. And what planet is Kalimanakis better than Haynes King? There's no planet he's better. But for some reason, these guys get it, and they make mistakes a lot, these NFL supposed gurus. Same thing might apply to Diego Pavia. Okay, I understand there's little, his reaction after the tweets or the X comments he made after losing the Heisman might have turned some teams off. He was an incredibly productive college quarterback, and the Ravens are going to bring him in. They made arrangements right after the draft. How come he wasn't drafted? How come some of these other guys were drafted? Taylon Green, I know, his measurables are great. He was not nearly as an effective college quarterback as Pavia. Now, you can say, okay, Taylon Green is his talents, skill set might match more what the NFL is like, and Lamar Jackson type and all that. But, again, this is the NFL draft overthinking itself. So I think, actually, Haynes King, in about 3 years, if he's starting quarterback for Carolina, we're going to look back and say this was maybe the best move, and it didn't even happen in the draft. For the draft, what can I say? Little surprised the Rams I don't want to say wasted that pick on Ty Simpson, but that's a pick. He's not going to help him this year. If Simpson plays this year, it's because Stafford gets hurt, and the season is done for the Rams if Stafford gets hurt. If it goes to plan, he's not going to play this year because Stafford's still going to be playing. And this is a team that is in the Super Bowl window right now, and you just wasted your first round on a guy who is not going to help you in 2026. Whatever you think about Ty Simpson, I think short-term for the Rams and their chance to win a Super Bowl, this was not a good move. That's one. Two, we'll see how these Fernando Mendoza. Let me throw this out to you. Had Haynes King been at Indiana this last year, okay, I still think they win the national title. And King might have been the first pick in the draft. Had Mendoza been at Georgia Tech, he'd have probably got drafted, but he wouldn't be the first pick. It's your surroundings. And all this, I know Mendoza, and I've liked Mendoza even ever since he started at Cal. I thought he was Bernie Kosar with a little more mobility. But everybody being so convinced that this guy is everything. Listen, he had a running game that worked great last year. He had receivers that were wide open. Yeah, he's good. And I know, he had that run against Miami in the championship game. Let's see him do that in the NFL when Nick Benito and other guys are chasing him down. I don't think he's a sure thing but either. Strangely, I think maybe Jerry Jones got it right this time. I thought Caleb Downs was a smashing player in college. And here's the 11th round pick. This guy could really help out that Dallas defense, which needs help. Maybe Dallas finally got something right. And Ohio State, 4 of the top 11 picks? Why didn't they win a national title last year?
Yeah, why didn't they? I love the Bernie Kosar comparison to Mendoza. I had never thought about it. He's got a kind of that shot put delivery Bernie had.
He does. He's sort of built like him, too. He moves better than Kosar, but he does. I mean, Kosar had incredible savvy, like more than any college quarterback I ever remember. I'm not sure Mendoza quite has that much. But he was in it. Listen, Cal was not a big winning team with Mendoza there. They were a 500 team at best when he was there. I mean, he won big when he got to Indiana. Good for. I like Mendoza a lot, but I think usually these people in Vegas, okay, we're a playoff contender now. We got Mendoza. No, now you're playing for one of the worst teams in the league when you were playing on the absolute best college team. Totally different world. He'll figure that out. We'll see this coming in the fall.
Bruce Marshall from the Gold Sheet with us every Friday on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. Bruce, tomorrow, the Kentucky Derby. We always wonder about Super Horse. We always wonder about a Triple Crown. Well, only one can win a Triple Crown, and that's going to be whatever horse has the blanket of roses tomorrow night about 6 o'clock. Of the three races through the years, this is not your favorite of the three, is it?
Least favorite, by a mile. Least, yeah, I mean, 20-horse fields just don't happen. Yeah. And I feel sorry for people who watch one race per year, and they watch this one, and they think every race has 20 horses in it. No, I mean, most races,
6 or 8, yeah.
Aqueduct, Saratoga, Gulfstream, I mean, Santa Anita, there's 6 or 7 horses in the race. And it makes for a very, very odd dynamic. And also, the whole Triple Crown and Kentucky Derby thing, listen, if one of these horses happens to win here, he's going to be retired before the end of the year. Maybe we get to see him through the Breeders' Cup. That's what's the problem with horse racing. It's not just recently. This has been for decades. You get a star performer who's got about a few months in the spotlight, and then they retire. Imagine if Michael Jordan retired after his rookie year in the NBA. That's what the stars are the horses, and unless they're a gelding, they don't run that long. So, I'm told this is just how this industry has evolved. Having said that, it's a tough race to handicap because of that 20. And a horse hasn't won from the rail in 40 years. I think it was Ferdinand with the shoe, I think, in 86. So this Renegade, which is the clear favorite, they stuck him down in the rail. Now, I don't know if the weather's coming up bad there. The one time I went to the Kentucky Derby, it rained. That was in '94. Go for gin, but that's not a place you want to be if it rains. But even so, it's a tough post position to come out and win the Derby from the 1. Renegade's got to overcome that. We will see. I think it's a very hard race to pick. The only thing I would say is keep an eye always on these Baffert horses. He's got 2 in there. He's got one called Litmus Test and another one called Potente. They're both 20, 25, 30 to 1. But this is a race you could see an upset, and I never count out the Baffert horses. We'll see.
I like it. Before we let you go, Bruce, anything you like in Major League Baseball tonight?
A little bit. I think I'm going to ride the Phillies here for a little bit. Zach Wheeler makes his second start after he came back from that surgery. They made the managerial switch this week. They have won all 3 since then with Mattingly. There's no question they were underachieving with Thompson. This move worked for them 4 years ago when they moved out Girardi and put Thompson in, and all of a sudden they got on fire and they ended up getting to the World Series. Not saying that's going to happen this year, but they are 3-0 with Mattingly. They won a couple of walk-offs in the doubleheader with the Giants yesterday, and they're a slight favorite at Miami tonight. So I might look at the Phillies with Wheeler making his second start. So that's one to look at there. Maybe too the Reds. Look at them. By the way, the NL Central is surprisingly good. Look at Brett's Cardinals are playing very well. So are the Reds. Brady Singer is on 5 of his 6 starts. They go into Pittsburgh tonight, and the Pirates are reeling after getting swept by the Cardinals 4. And with Keller, who hasn't pitched all that bad, but they're a pretty significant favorite here tonight. I think the Reds, these guys play very well. Maybe they're worth a look.
Yeah, I like it. Bruce, where can we find more of you?
Yeah, thanks. Check me out online. Everything for me these days is up at wagertalk.com under that umbrella. And we got a big special 5% play going tonight in the NBA, where we've been going really good. Wagertalk.com. Goldsheet.com is up there, too. We'll start populating that site more towards football season. And also winners and whiners and picksandparlays.com.
Bruce, we're ready for the write-ups. That's what we're ready for.
Yeah, we're going to be ready. We got a few months left to get ready, but we'll be ready in the fall for sure.
I know you will. Thank you, Bruce. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Bruce.
You too, guys.
You got it.
Bruce Marshall joining us to talk a little bit of everything, plenty to discuss. We got into the Derby, a lot of football talk with him.
He's not a Kentucky Derby fan.
No. And that's why I did not press him for any more picks than what he gave us. But we need to go ahead and get to another break. When we return, we'll talk a little more Kentucky Derby. We'll also talk Landers Ford. We talk about him all the time. Brad Bellamy, you know him from his Landers locks back in the fall. He's going to join us. We'll talk Landers Ford. We'll also talk the Kentucky Derby. That comes your way next on Sports Time.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
After a car accident, money is on the line, and that's why one call can change everything. NST has spent over 35 years fighting for Memphis families and winning big. The call is free, and you don't pay unless we win. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000.
Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening is coming to the Graceland Soundstage. Saturday, May 9th at 8 p.m. Jason's thunderous drumming recalls one of the greatest to ever sit behind the skins, his late father, John Bonham of Led Zeppelin. This is as close as you will ever get to letting the lead out live. Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Get your tickets today at GracelandLive.com.
Chris Price here with Metro Builders. In the wake of recent storms in the Mid-South, we saw severe damage, and our prayers go out to all those impacted. Believe it or not, much of this damage has still not been discovered. Most of us do not look up and take notice to displaced shingles, small water stains on our ceilings, and many of the silent ways water attacks our homes. This type of silent damage is unsightly, and if left for a period of time, become unhealthy to you and your family. At Metro Builders, our team of Hague-certified technicians and fully trained estimators are ready to come out, evaluate any concerns you may have, from climbing your roof and evaluating your shingles or TPO to opening a wall or ceiling for further inspection. We get paid to look up and climb. If you have an insurance claim that requires restoration or need a contractor that accepts all insurance carrier scopes, Metro Builders understands the way to restore a home or office either back to its pre-existing condition or upgrading that space. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717 or MetroBuildersMemphis.com.
Old Dominick Distillery is pouring Memphis pride into every cocktail. From the winning atmosphere at its downtown Memphis distillery to award-winning craft spirits, Old Dominick is pure Memphis spirit through and through. Swing by the distillery bar for a pregame cocktail or celebrate your wins with a guided tour and tasting. Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at OldDominick.com.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
This traffic report brought to you by Lauren Tag Hill of Ware Jones Realty. If you're buying a house or selling one and want fast action, contact Lauren Hill at warejones.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. We have that heavy traffic developing now through the Midtown area, pretty much on schedule, actually, especially for our Friday. I-40 here at Chelsea as you work your way 55 across the bridge, pushing over into Clinton County, West Memphis. Radar south of Memphis now. That was earlier. Just be careful throughout the rest of the evening here on 55 down through DeSoto County. Bridal season just around the corner, so shop local. Do it this weekend at Weimer's Jewelry. You'll save a lot of money at 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
And she says, I wish that I could be like the cool kids, 'cause all the cool kids.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we've got to talk a little more Kentucky Derby, but we got to talk about our friends over at Landers Ford. A regular here with us, Brad Bellamy. He joins us now. Brad, how's it going? How are things over at Landers Ford?
Man, things are fantastic, guys. We had a very unique situation happen last night. The first time since I've been around Ford Motor Company, we had a call at 11 o'clock last night with the Ford national team telling us about our new programs this month, and we are super excited about it. Last year, April was our best month of the year because Ford, when all the tariffs hit, Ford said, we're going to double down, and we're going to have a For America campaign where employee pricing for everyone. Well, it is the 250th year of our great nation, and so Ford is bringing that program back. So we have employee pricing for everyone, F-150, Expedition, which was not included last year, so it's a huge program on that. 25 F-150 XLTs, employee pricing, which is well below invoice, plus $6,000 of rebate. So we are very, very excited about it. Bronco Sport, F-150, everything, guys, included except for a couple of specialty units. So it is going to be a huge month at Landers Ford, the month of May, and we've been busy all day today. And a little side note, there's a big music fest going on, and I'm actually in the lobby of Labana right now having this call with you guys.
That is great, and we talk all the time about how active and engaged in our community that the great people at Landers Ford in Collierville are. Explain to our listeners how you help out with Labana with transportation and stuff for visiting people.
Well, after the Banana Ball game, I ran into one of my friends at Labana, and he was talking to me about some experiences they've gone through with Uber drivers and issues that have happened. You know, Labana invested, or Ryan Seacrest invested in Seacrest Studios in Labana a few years ago. So all the time when celebrities come to town, NBA players come to town, they'll need transportation from hotels or things like that. And over the years, they've had some issues. And so we were talking. I was like, well, man, let us help you guys. The last thing I want to do is have somebody have a bad experience in Memphis because the guy that picked them up didn't show up on time. In fact, they had one celebrity that had to walk from one of the downtown hotels to Labana because their ride didn't show up. So I was like, let's get that experience out of the way. Let's not have that happen again. And so they reached out to me yesterday afternoon and said one of the acts that's coming in town for the Music Fest this weekend wants to go visit a patient. And so ended up this afternoon picking them up. And what I thought was going to be a 30-minute experience, they've been with this patient for over an hour and just spending time with them, playing some songs, and really a moving experience. And I tell you what, I love this hospital, what it is for our community, how much they support St. Jude, and the fact that, you know, they're able to welcome guests into our city, and just such a beautiful facility and just a great atmosphere. You know, if you're going to have to be in a hospital, you want it to be someone that's going to welcome you. And LeBonner does an unbelievable job of being just a representative of our city.
And it really is hand in glove with LeBonner and St. Jude, as you mentioned. And to make that weekend that special for that person, for them to go make it special for a patient, great work, Brad. Yeah. Great work.
Yeah, it's really neat, guys. And, you know, it's a little emotional when you hear somebody play a song for someone and then the patient singing along with them.
It's like any time you volunteer for Special Olympics, you're going to leave feeling good, but you're going to leave getting the tears in, and that's when you know you're producing for people. Brad, this weekend's the Kentucky Derby. Any Landers locks you got?
I mean, I think we go Further Ado. I like that one.
A lot do.
I think Commandment's a good opportunity too. I'm going to stay away from anybody on the one rail. Yep. I think it's been like 1984 since the horse won from the one, so we're going to stay away from that altogether. And, you know, typically into the field also not always great from a posting standpoint. So I'm looking forward to watching it. I'll probably open my account tomorrow. And you know, a couple of years ago, my wife was mad at me for not doing enough research. Yeah. And she had been watching one of the local news shows, and she's like, these are the horses I like. And, you know, $1 trifecta turned out to be over $500. So I was greatly appreciative of my wife in that experience and giving me.
And you never heard the end of it, have you?
That's right. We had to go to a couple of nice dinners, but it worked out well for both of us.
Oh, that is great. Yeah, no, it's always fun, and you know, it sounds like me and how I bet the Kentucky Derby of just don't know much, and I just kind of throw some stuff down, and it always crashes and burns.
There's so many people that don't like the bigger field. It produces some all-time tickets.
It definitely does.
If you've got one, the payout's great.
Yeah, I mean, trifecta payouts on a 50-cent bet are tremendous because there's so many people betting on it. If you catch it, even if, you know, if you ever get like a double digit in there as a 1, 2, or 3, I mean, one place show it works out all the same. It's a pretty good payer. So it's a lot of fun. It's always fun to see the celebrities show out and the hats and everything else. But, you know, we'll have it on tomorrow at Landers Ford. And, you know, we got those programs going on all month, Brett. We probably haven't been this excited about a program in a very long time. And we know that we're going to sell a bunch of cars this month. So I encourage people to come out early because, you know, we only have a few 25s left. When they're gone, they're gone. But that employee pricing program is going to last all month long.
Is the employee pricing, is that the best deal you can offer?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just to give a little perspective, I had a gentleman that was looking to buy a 26 Platinum F-150 yesterday. It was an $87,000 truck. And this morning he saved about $6,000 off of what it was going to be when he was buying it. I mean, it was about a $12,000 discount off of that MSRP when you included the rebate. And he also had a private offer, which does stack with our employee pricing. So it is as good as it gets, and it's as real as it gets. So, you know, come on out, give us a chance, let us look at your trades. We'd love to take that in and get you out in a new ride.
Sounds like just a wonderful deal, and hopefully everybody gets out there later today, tomorrow. Like you said, you'll have the Derby on, so nobody will be missing that if they're out there looking at those beautiful vehicles y'all have on the lot. But Brad, as always, thanks so much for joining us. I know you're busy this afternoon, so thank you for giving us some time today, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Always great to be with you guys. And Brad, if it doesn't say Landers,
you paid way too much.
Thanks, Brad.
Brother.
Thank you, Brad.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Thank you. And I can give my testimonial about the service department. So I take my vehicle in for oil change, and on the app, I looked, or it notified me that it had been completed. Well, one of the low pressure for one of my front right tire was like way under. And I'm going, what in the world happened? So when I get there, you know, you had a nail in your front right tire.
I had no idea.
I said, well, I saw it on the app, and they had already fixed it.
Wow, that's great. I mean, it really is remarkable what they do out there and how easy they make it for people. I mean,
they do.
It really is, because I mean, you know, a lot of people, when it comes to their car and the maintenance and different things, you know, that can be very stressful because you know it's usually going to take a lot of time. It's going to be really hard to get in there and get it done. But you know, they make it as easy, as simple as they can for their customers.
And that work
it's
being
great.
done at LeBonner, that's. Unreal.
Yeah, I didn't want to ask who the musician was, but if it's who I think it is,
me too.
I think,
and I don't know, but it's who I think it is.
Yeah, I can take a guess on a couple of people, but I hope it's one person.
Well, let me see if we can get any confirmation.
Yeah, please, I would love that. I hope it's who I think it is, because one of my favorite One of my favorite performers is performing tonight. And
are you going?
No, I'm not going. I'm maybe going to try to get out there on Sunday. T-Pain performing on Sunday. T-Pain and Wale. Love Wale. Love some T-Pain. Might get out there on Sunday to see those two. Wale's a little earlier in the afternoon, and then T-Pain, I think, is like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. He's not the headliner. I think...
we got great weather for it.
Yeah, it is great weather. I can't remember. The headliner Sunday night is like a big group that everybody knows, and I don't know anything about them. And so I was like, okay, well... let everybody else have their fun with him, and I'll go see T-Pain, and then I'll get out of there before everybody else.
And
gets
from
out
a
of there.
downtown hotel to Lebanon is a good hike. We don't need that.
No, definitely not. Dave Matthews Band is the headliner on Sunday night. I don't know. Everybody talks about I always hear people talk about the Dave Matthews Band. I know nothing about it.
Started as a kind of college frat party band at UVA, I think.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then big in the 90s.
Interesting.
Good stuff. I like Dave Matthews.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I'm sure I've heard their music before. I could not tell you anything about.
You don't remember the 90s, huh?
No. I miss, especially when it comes to music. I completely miss the 90s. I can get there in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and exactly who I thought it was. When he said it,
we can't divulge.
No, but when he said it, I go, I bet I know who it is, and that's exactly.
That's
I love that person. So I'm glad to hear that they are
doing the good
doing
work
some
in
good.
Memphis.
Yes, no, that is definitely good news. Well, do we want to go ahead and do our horses?
Who wants to go first?
We're all prepared. Landon's usually our go-to to start things out. I don't know if he's prepared for his
almost
horses.
Derby aficionado.
Yes.
I mean, I'm ready. I've got horses.
Wow, you got it in big red highlighter too,
It's
don't
the
you?
only thing. It's the only thing that works on a paper towel. So.
Yeah. Oh, these are going to be the locks written on a paper towel. Good Lord.
All right, Landon, fire away.
All right. Well, my winner, I'm going with Commandment. My place, I'm going Renegade. My show, Chief Wallaby. I cannot remember what the fourth place is called, but Further Ado.
Okay. That ticket won't be a great paying ticket. That's a lot of favorites.
It is. But who says I'm in it for the money, right?
That's right. We're playing for funsies.
Yeah.
We're playing for banners.
Playing for banners.
Do we have a
right?
banner?
We don't.
Sure.
I don't get paid for banners.
Can anybody tell who the banner winner of the Derby was last year? I sure can.
I think you were.
I think it was you,
I
Brett.
think it was
Was
you.
it really?
I think so.
I'm gonna take it.
I think yes. You need to take that.
Hang that up. Go ahead.
I will.
Hang it somewhere.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you said win, play, show because I was going to go first, second, third, fourth. So I will be more of an aficionado.
I will divulge. I looked it up before,
there you go.
before I did anything.
Good for you. So I was very upset because my go-to when it comes to picking the Derby is I just love the names. And so I look at these names. My two favorite names, both scratched. Right to Party. I mean, how could you not bet on Right to Party? I mean, that is incredible right there. And then Silent Tactic. Both those were scratched. So for my win, all of these, I kind of saw a theme this year. A lot of fast names. So we're going to go win the Puma. How could the Puma not be fast? I mean, you are named after one of the fastest animals on the planet.
And great shoe.
It's also a fine shoe.
brand.
So I will go with the Puma to win.
That was Clyde Frazier's shoe in the 70s.
Is that right? Well, LaMelo Ball now a big Puma athlete in today's game. Place, I'm going to go with 6 Speed. Again, got to be fast if you're named 6 Speed. Show, litmus test. You got to pass the litmus test to get out there. So
Podium finish.
Hopefully he does that. And then fourth, let's have a little joy. So happy for my fourth.
I like that you like So Happy. That's my winner.
Okay, I love it.
A Mike Smith in the irons with Bob Baffert as I think Baffert's the trainer, the number 8.
I'll take your word for it.
So happy for me, the 8. My place, the 1 horse, Renegade. That's a Todd Pletcher horse. To show litmus test.
Yeah, how about that?
That's a Baffert horse. It's a rule you got to have a Baffert horse, don't you?
Got to.
Even if you don't know you got a Baffert horse.
Got to.
And fourth for me, Potente.
Okay.
That's a Baffert horse as well. Juan Hernandez, the jock.
Well, I think you just, if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I am, 3 of your 4 horses are Baffert horses?
I think so. If So Happy is. I don't know if that's the case.
I feel like when it comes to the Derby, you kind of just stumble into a Baffert horse. I mean,
and isn't that kind of the drinking game tomorrow?
Oh my God!
How many shots of him?
Yeah, I mean, be careful if that's your drinking game because you might be out early.
Mine in a box 1, 4, 8, and 14.
Okay, all right.
1, 4, 8, 14. So Mike Smith, legendary Oaklawn veteran job.
All right, so maybe he's got it this year with So Happy. So that's our picks. We'll talk a lot more Derby in our next hour to start 5 o'clock. Dick Girardi going to join us to talk the Derby and some college basketball. But right now, we need to get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
A long life is wonderful, but it comes with changes as you age. So when you're ready to change your home, Town Village Audubon Park is the perfect choice. Incredible location, amazing amenities, including a pool, all-inclusive dining, and on-site medical care so you can age in place. Monthly rental with no buy-in lets you make current choices. Apartments include full kitchen, washer and dryer, bi-weekly housekeeping, and all basic utilities. Landscape courtyards make it easy to get sunshine and fresh air. Gated parking keeps you ready to go. And the Town Village Dog Park keeps your fur baby close by your side. Hi, I'm Max. My wife Jean and I moved into Town Village Audubon Park 18 months ago. It's the best decision we ever made. We have made friends here and take part in lots of social activities. It's a comfortable life. So if you're thinking of making a change, come see me and Town Village Audubon Park. I think you'll like it as much as we do. And look, new friends.
Extraordinary events come once in a blue moon, and right now, even the most extravagant luxuries are well within reach. The one and only May sale is back at Sissy's Log Cabin, and you can save up to 50% on nearly everything in the store. This is your chance to get the service, selection, and experience that makes you feel like family at the best prices of the year, guaranteed. Don't miss the one and only May sale at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
I have solved one of life's great puzzles.
That seems really unlikely.
I have.
Okay, what puzzle?
What to give people as wedding presents when they're out of town.
It's not that big of a puzzle.
Oh, yeah? What would you do?
I would ship them some yummy Central Barbecue. So what were you going to say?
Ship them some yummy Central Barbecue? Because they have great packages.
Yeah, like the ribs pack, the pulled pork pack, even the combo pack.
This is all stuff that I was going to say.
I know. You're always going to go to the Central Barbecue well.
Hey, you ready to bang? Bangers Pickleball in South Haven is now open with 10 courts, a restaurant, and 3 bars. New to pickleball? No problem. Take a free Bangers 101 class to learn. Bangers offers a great time for everyone, and there's no membership required. Bangers even has events for you non-pickleballers like mahjong, trivia, whiskey, and wine tasting. Bangers Pickleball has it all. All the rage, all the fun, all for you. Please dink responsibly at Bangers Pickleball, 6787 Snowden Lane, South Haven, Mississippi. Let's bang. Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Rebel Nation, get the latest on everything Ole Miss sports with the Cannon Motors of Mississippi Rebel Yell Hotline. Join Rebel insiders Chuck Rounsville, Yancey Porter, and Gary Darby Monday nights at 6 as they break down the latest with the Rebels, along with even more insight from special guests. Rebel Yell Hotline, Mondays at 6 p.m. on WHBQ.
Stay up to date with everything going on in Ole Miss athletics with Rebel Yell Hotline every Monday night from 6 to 7 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Merry-go-round in dreams.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brown. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
What up, big guy?
I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, Brett, my big number, we've talked about both of these teams a lot today, but we have not brought up this part of the story. So my big number is the number 1. That's because last night, the Minnesota Timberwolves won, the Minnesota Wild won. It is the first time ever Minnesota has had an NBA and an NHL team in the second round of the playoffs in the same year. Celebrate, Minnesota.
And you know who the Wild defeated the Dallas Stars, and that used to be the Minnesota North Stars.
Yes.
And I saw some North Star jersey sweaters in the crowd.
Yeah, that has been
and they stole them.
That has been a little bit of a controversy throughout that series
I bet
of the North Stars. It's been talked about a lot. So yeah,
first time.
Yeah, it's crazy. Good for them.
My big number is a year. It's 1980. And it's to make my point since 1980, and that was the first year of Magic Johnson and the Lakers winning, and that really ushered in the Magic, Larry Bird 80s, and really the modern NBA that we all enjoy now. But since that year, so 46 titles in that time, Philadelphia in 83, Dallas in 2011, Cleveland in 2016, Toronto in 2019. Milwaukee in 2021, and I now think Denver in 23. That's the single shots.
Wow.
Usually when you win it, you get it in bunches. Houston just got 2 with Hakeem Olajuwon, but they got 2.
Yeah.
The other dynasties, Lakers, Celtics, Golden State, San Antonio, but those teams, Philadelphia 83, Dallas 2011, Cleveland with LeBron 2016, Toronto 2019, Milwaukee with Giannis 21, Denver in 23. That's it. Now, Oklahoma City's sitting at 1 now, but we think it's going to be in bunches, so I'm not throwing them in there yet.
It is interesting, though, because you're right. A lot of times, especially in the NBA, we kind of think about, okay, you get 1, there's more coming.
Here comes a lot more.
We went through that kind of, what was it? It felt like an eternity where it felt like every year we were getting Golden State and Cleveland in the NBA Finals, and now we've had kind of an interesting run of a lot of kind of different over the last couple of years.
A little disheartening in that we're in an era since 2019. We've had 3 different, I call single shot champions, Toronto, Milwaukee, and Denver. And we thought that was going to be in our time.
Yeah, and that door completely shut.
Ja and Jaren.
And now we'll see if they can get back to that point.
Okay, Oklahoma City may not win it this year, but they're going to win 1 more in the next 2 or 3 years. It won't be single shot.
Yeah, it feels like it. And so, we'll see what this offseason looks like for the Grizzlies, because that window, it's completely shut for them to be back in that group.
83 Philly, to get out of the East, they were having to go against Bird and the Celtics.
Oof, man, that
was with Dr. J and some really good teams.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. And so, I know I saw there were some reports. I forgot who did that. I think it was maybe Mark Stein who had the report earlier today about Ja Morant, that the Grizzlies were really starting to intensify their efforts to look for trade partners for Ja Morant, and that
what
maybe
names? What teams?
I didn't see the teams that said, but there was a quote in there about the thought is that there will be more of a market for him this offseason than there was back in February around the trade deadline. So maybe we see some traction over the next couple of weeks, and maybe get something done before or around the NBA draft for kind of that start over after the NBA draft.
And I am as irritated, angry as I am at Ja. I think he wrecked the franchise. I know that doesn't go over with a lot of people. Too bad. I think he did. I think front office didn't help, but his actions really undercut this franchise. I don't think anybody deserves to be traded to Sacramento. He didn't make me that mad.
No. Yeah, Sacramento would be rough, but it'll be interesting if we get a couple of teams. I know obviously you mentioned Sacramento. That's a team that has been rumored out there. There's been some rumor around Phoenix, and who knows what other teams. I know back around the trade deadline, Miami was a team that people thought could be interested. The Bucks were a team that people thought could be interested. I don't know what Taylor Jenkins going up there does, but
sadly, he's not the missing piece for a lot of people.
No, and won't be viewed. And I think it was in this same story. I think it was Mark Stein that had this of kind of the idea of Ja Morant being that centerpiece focal point for a team is gone, and really even the thought of can he even be kind of a cornerstone of a team at this point.
I think the best days are behind him.
Yeah, I mean, with all the injuries that he's had over the last couple of years, I think you would.
26? What is it?
It's about 26. I know he's around my age. 20, 25, 26, 27, somewhere in that range. And so I think the hope, if you're just kind of a Ja Morant fan, that he can land somewhere and kind of get back on his feet. But that's kind of the fear for Grizzly fans of he's gonna make the Grizzlies pay in the next couple of years.
We know it's going to happen. We've been braced for it. It still will be a bolt of lightning. Ja Morant officially dealt for Memphis, and I think it's a point as a franchise, as a sports town, we've needed to get to.
It's we've already seen
the fresh restart.
Sure, we've already seen the starts of this kind of rebuild, and Ja Morant will be the last piece of that. That big three that the Grizzlies had. Two of them gone. They were all together a week ago in Orlando. But
you're not going to dissuade the dug-in pro-Ja crowd that he did damage to this franchise.
No.
They don't like that being said.
No, definitely not. And
I don't really care.
Yeah, it's going to be weird when it does actually happen and he is traded, what that reaction is going to be from the fan base, from both sides, the pro-Ja, the anti-Ja. It's going to be
some of it was organizationally, though.
No, it definitely was.
I think a much firmer control could have been there.
Yeah.
And more emphasis on development of his game.
I don't think any of the blame for any of kind of where this organization is today lands on one person. I think it's a lot of people.
It catches a lot of people.
It does. It's a lot of factors that
and there's already been several that paid a price.
That's right. Yeah. And so, we'll see what it looks like, but the rebuild is here, and, we'll see on the 10th with where the Grizzlies get that first pick and then kind of what they turn that into. I did see, and there is some thought of, maybe Taylor Jenkins goes to Milwaukee. They were already linked with Ja. Maybe he tries to reunite with his point guard. But now I'm hearing that he wants to bring Noah LaRoche back as his kind of offensive assistant coach. And supposedly that was who Ja Morant was not very fond of his style of offense. So.
Yeah, and I don't know we got a fair hearing on Ja with Isolo.
No, I don't.
After
think
the
so
Lakers
either.
game was not.
Yeah, that was not pretty.
Was not edifying, was it?
No, it wasn't. So it feels like it's going to be a busy offseason for the Grizzlies, and we'll see how it all plays out. But we need to get to another break, wrap up this second hour. When we return, we're talking the Kentucky Derby. We'll talk a little college basketball as well. Dick Girardi going to join us. We'll be a little short with Dick Girardi, then get to Mo's Crunch Time. It's because we're out early this afternoon as Ole Miss baseball in Fayetteville to take on the Arkansas Razorbacks. We'll get you out there for pregame at 5:30. That first pitch scheduled for 6 o'clock. But let's go ahead, get to a break, and when we return, it's Kentucky Derby time. Dick Girardi, he joins us next.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis has serious vans for serious work. At 4430 American Way, they are the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet? New or used, they've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter Van headquarters, 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road.
Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant, objective feedback with hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation size courts, 3 high school size courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member at both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis, now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
Your home is your best investment, so why not make it the best it can be with help from Gates Lumber? Start with your front door, serving 2 purposes, curb appeal and security. Gates has solid construction doors built for security, durability, and beauty. See and compare wood, steel, and fiberglass options side by side at Gates Showroom. It's easier to choose when you can see and touch real doors with real assistance from knowledgeable staff helping you choose the right door for your home and budget. So don't just replace your door, upgrade your protection, and Gates Lumber is the right choice. Family owned and operated, serving you for over 100 years with free estimates, free delivery, competitive prices, and quality products. Call 901-942-3201, go to gateslumber.com, or come by their showroom, 1253 South Bellevue Boulevard. Gates Lumber, celebrating over 100 years with a passion for craftsmanship since 1920.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, there's some things about the Rendezvous I want to talk about. For example, we make it really easy to park. We have valet parking right at Monroe Street in our alley. We also want to make it easy for people to get to-go orders. You can now park in our alley right at our front door and put your flashers on. People also forget that we take reservations for 6 or more. And we have a wonderful party room upstairs that can accommodate people for rehearsal dinners, birthday parties, reunions, graduations. Our rooms seat between 25 and 275 people, and everything at the Rendezvous can be packed to go. Brett, we also do catering. See our menu online, and we can even deliver for groups of 15 or more. So if you have any questions, always feel free to call us at the Rendezvous because we answer our phone ourselves. You'll never hear, please listen carefully for our menu has changed. Press 1 for reservations, press 2 for hours, press 3 for catering, or if you know your party's 9-digit extension number and the first 3 letters of their mother's maiden name, dial it now. Come see us at the Rendezvous.
Since 1948, the Rendezvous.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Humdinger's Corporate Catering. Enjoy tacos made with crunchy slaw, grilled fish, and chicken, and the best taco sauce in town. Find out more, call Jenny Nash at 901-606-3172.
This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Looks like it's got a little bit heavier going outbound here on Summer Avenue up by Sycamore View Road. It's already busy on 40 East passing Sycamore View Road headed out towards Germantown Parkway. Expect a little bit more traffic in the next few minutes. 240 South trying to get out of Midtown. It's been in pretty good shape so far. I don't want to jinx it. They're on 240 South at South Parkway. Hey, bridal season just around the corner. Shop local this weekend at Weimer's Jewelry, located 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studios, we are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we've got about 30 minutes left in today's show. Again, we're out early today. Ole Miss baseball, they're in action. 6 o'clock first pitch against Arkansas. But we'll get you out there early for pregame for that game 1 of the 3-game series. But we need to talk the Kentucky Derby. We'll talk a little college basketball as well. But Dick Girardi always joins us the Friday before the Kentucky Derby. He joins us again. Dick, how's everything going? How excited are we for the Derby?
Always excited for the Derby, one of my favorite days in sports every year. How are you guys?
We are. We're always excited to have you. Now, you have an attendance record, I think, for all 3 Triple Crown races, right?
Yeah, I haven't been going since I left the paper. The better way to put it would be I've covered it for 40 straight years, one way or another. I haven't, since I left the paper in 2017, I haven't always been. I haven't missed a Preakness in all that time. That's my hometown. But yeah, I'm covering all of them every year for 40 straight years.
And the Preakness this year, we talked about it earlier, not at Pimlico, at Laurel for this year and next, or back at Pimlico next year.
The hope is that Pimlico will be finished, and I think even if it's not finished, the new Pimlico, they're going to run it there anyway, maybe in 10th. So, yeah, I think it's a 1-year thing at Laurel and then back to Baltimore next year.
Are we sure next year will be 2 weeks, or will that be when they start working in more time in between?
I think it's going to happen, and I think it's likely to happen this year that hopefully they'll go to 4 weeks, still under discussion. But the new contract with the NBC contract is up with the Preakness, and NBC and really everybody in the sport wants to see the Derby winner show up at the Preakness.
Sure.
And they're not showing up because it's only the 2 weeks. So I think they want to find a way to get that Derby winner to the Preakness. So I'm hoping that it'll be 3 weeks and possibly even 4 next year. That would be awesome.
And then how long after Preakness before Belmont?
Yeah, I mean that's the big question. NYRA, which obviously the new Belmont Park is opening later this year, and the Belmont Stakes will be back there next year after a 3-year run at Saratoga. They don't want it too much past where it already is because they don't want to mess with the Saratoga meet, which comes up in late July. But there's going to have to be some compromise here. In a perfect world, it's 4 weeks and 4 weeks because then you're going to get more participation. But I just don't know. Churchill's irrelevant because they're going to run the Derby on the first Saturday in May.
Like the Rose Bowl. Yeah.
Correct. That's when it's going to happen. That's not going to change. So the other tracks are just going to have to figure out a way that it's optimal for them and for the sport, but clearly it's no longer optimal to have the Preakness 2 weeks after.
All right, being the big college basketball and horse racing aficionado that you are, Dick, tell me where I think Churchill Downs is in the pantheon, the Big Four, the Mount Rushmore of sports cathedrals in the United States. Mine are Augusta National, the Rose Bowl Stadium, Churchill Downs, and the Superdome in New Orleans, the youngest of the 4. What would be, if you mixed in college basketball arenas that you've been in, I think the Palestra would be way up there. How would you mix college basketball arenas in with the 3 hosts of the big 3 races?
So my favorite on-campus college basketball arena, bar none, is Allen Fieldhouse in Lawrence, Kansas. Absolutely awesome. If you've never been there, find a way to get there. I've been there for 3 different times. And then, of course, the Palestra in Philly, which is right on the University of Pennsylvania campus, is an absolutely awesome arena. And I've done a number of games at Cameron Indoor at Duke. Absolutely a fun place, a must place, and probably Hinkle Fieldhouse where Butler plays. It's where the last game in Hoosiers was filmed, and that's where they used to play the Indiana High School State Basketball Championship for a year. So that would probably be my 4 college hoops arenas.
And Churchill way up there with you, right?
Oh, 100%. At Saratoga, if it's racetracks, yeah, Churchill, Saratoga, Del Mar.
That's good stuff. Now, at Cameron, am I right? Even for radio announced teams, you're way up top. I know TV that they are radio teams at the top of the building.
I've not done a radio game there. It was all when I was still at the paper, and they used to have us sit literally right on the floor.
Oh yeah, it was
fun because the students could peek over your shoulder and look at what you were writing, and they could go, "Yeah, that's wrong. You don't know what you're doing." It was great.
And they would, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it was great fun. I loved it.
That's awesome. Well, getting back to the Derby, who are the horses to know? What do we need to know as we get ready for another Derby?
And do you have Baffert Mania?
Yeah, I don't, but you always have to respect him. Obviously, he's won the race 6 times. At betonline.ag, guys, at the moment, there's 5 horses under 10-1, and I think those are the right horses. Renegade, the favorite, at 5-1. Further Ado at 5.5-1. Commandment, your Florida Derby winner, at 6. Chief Wallaby at 7, and then the Puma at 9. And they finished right behind Commandment in the Florida Derby. Further Ado won the Bluegrass at Keeneland, and of course, Renegade won the Arkansas Derby. Those are the right 5 horses to be played there. My problem is I'm having trouble separating them. They all kind of look the same to me. So I ended up falling on a completely different horse, a little out of the normal realm. I'll watch video from anywhere if it's available. And when I watched the 3 races from Japan of Danon Bourbon, the 7, I was actually absolutely blown away by what I saw. It's like watching a great athlete in against good athletes, and you guys know sports. You can tell the difference. And that's when I watched this horse run on the video. And then I want to say, all right, well, this is what I'm seeing, but what's the data showing me? And I was able to look up the times that the horse was running over in Japan, and they very favorably with the other times on that day at those distances was running like a second, 2 seconds faster than the other horses. So that's actually my pick. Danon Bourbon is listed at 13 or 14-1 at BetOnline. It is 15-1 at the moment. It's probably the longest shot I've picked in the Derby in years. But there isn't that one horse this year like American Pharoah or Justify. We don't have that horse this year. I mean, we have a 5-1 favorite at the moment. So, yeah, Danon Bourbon for me, and the price is right. Japan, and you guys know this, they're very serious about their horse racing. Forever Young should have won the race 2 years ago, was very unlucky. Japan is going to win this race. They love horse racing. Horse racing and baseball are their 2 sports over there. They produce great horses in Japan. But this is actually a Kentucky bred, Danon Bourbon. They bought him over here and then took him to Japan. So, yeah, that's my pick for tomorrow, Danon Bourbon, the 7.
Love that. And our listeners can always go online, check out BetOnline for the most up-to-date odds and props for the 152nd running of the Kentucky Derby and some in-string props. So go ahead. Just with that winner, you're going to have a great ticket. Give me a place and show and fourth for us to do something in a wheel.
So 18, Further Ado, who was, I thought, the most impressive winner of any of the American prep races. He won the Bluegrass by 11 lengths and looked really good doing it. Got the best fire speed figure of any horse in the race. The 6th, Commandment, who won the Florida Derby, is 4 in a row. I think he's the most logical horse to run in the top 4, really, of any of the 20. He just doesn't run bad races. And then the 9, the Puma, I think you get a little better price than maybe you will get on some others. But certainly Renegade could win. Chief Wallaby could win. I think I've mentioned all the horses. If it's something other than that, I would be surprised. Not insanely so, but I think it's going to come from that group that I've been talking about.
Mm-hmm. What are the props that you like for this Derby?
So a couple of them. There's the one I probably like the most is over/under on the winner's margin. It's a length and a half. If I'm right about Danon Bourbon, I think there's a chance he's going to win big, so I would go over there. If the track stays as fast as it has all week, and you can watch the times early tomorrow, I think we're going to go under the time prop. It's 202.5. That's an even money proposition, over/under. I can give you one prop that will not win. I don't want anybody betting it. Will Secretariat's record time be tied or broken? The answer is no.
No chance.
And yes is 15-1. Yes should be like 150-1.
It sure should be.
I don't like that. I'll give you an Oaks Derby double prop, too, at BetOnline. Will Bob Baffert train both the Oaks and Derby winners? So he's got Explorer in the Oaks tonight. That's on primetime on NBC around 8:40. I think he's got a real chance to win. And then he's got 2 long shots tomorrow, Potente and Litmus Test. But if you get alive with Explorer, at BetOnline, you'll get 66-1 if either of the Baffert horses wins the Derby.
And another prop: will there be a wire-to-wire winner, 12-1? I don't think so. Do you?
No, I don't. I think the horses that are going to be out there early just are not going to be good enough to stay. 6 Speed is aptly named. He'll be out there. Pavlovian will be out there, but. Yeah, I don't think either one of them are good enough to go all the way.
Okay, when we're watching at home, any correlation to a reluctant horse being loaded into the gate? Is there anything to that? Is there anything to they were in there too long?
Yeah, look, you'd rather not have that, right? You always hate that because they're using energy that they're going to need during the race. But as far as the too long thing, because they now double load, in other words, like the 1 goes in at the same time as the 11, it takes a little less time than it used to. They used to load them 1-2-20. But yeah, you'd rather have a number like the non-bourbon has 7. That means he's going to be one of the last 7 or 8 to load, which I do like. I think the less time in a confined area like a starting gate has to be better, right?
If you had to just bet a jock, and this was my pick only because Arkansas boy at Oakland, you give me Mike Smith and I'll take my chances. If you had to just bet a jock, who would you take?
Flavian Pratt. He's riding emerging market. Horse has only raced twice. On paper, I don't particularly like the horse, but he's the best big race rider we have in the country right now.
As the day unfolds and you're just covering it from home and you're not there, what is it you most miss about being at Churchill Downs on Derby Day?
Yeah, it's more the week of than the race itself, where I got to hang out with friends that I've known for 30 and 40 years. We go out to dinner, tell stories. Derby Day itself is always hectic. It's fun. It's not a problem, but you're working. I missed the scene. But look, I was very fortunate. I covered it 32 times, and I went 2 other times as a fan. So, yeah, I consider myself very lucky that I got to go all the time.
Dick, we hear that from you. You can tell it in your voice when you talk college basketball and the places and the games and the teams and the coaches that you covered. I hear so many kind of older sports people that feel like that they didn't get the kind of the full enchilada of sports. I don't, and it doesn't sound like you feel that way. Every day was a blessing, and I was lucky.
100%. Yeah, I mean, somebody's paying me to go to games that I would normally pay to go to.
If it ends today, right? I've been lucky.
Sure. Oh, for sure. And, it's funny. Every year I add a couple new gyms to my college basketball gyms that I've been to. I'm up to 175 that I've seen a college basketball game.
Oh, real nice.
Gyms, arenas, Final Four domes, places that are no longer, that have been demolished.
Like Kingdome. You were there
absolutely.
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah, I did the Final Four in '95 when the O'Bannon brothers beat Arkansas, when UCLA beat them in the old Kingdome. Which it's funny. I was in Seattle this year for a basketball game. I hadn't been back since, and I was. Where's the Kingdome? It's right down there where the football and the baseball stadiums are now.
Dick, everything with you leads right to the next conversation. Can you believe that '95 with Jimmy Herrick winning it? That's the only one since John Wooden at Westwood.
Yep, that's how great Coach Wooden was, 10 and 12 years, 64 to 75. And one of my great thrills in 33 years at the Philadelphia Daily News and 7,000 stories, I was in California for the Breeders' Cup. I want to say it was 2003. And the UCLA SID, I called him. I said, look, any chance I can go see Coach Wood? He says, yep. Go visit him at his condo in Encino. And I had an hour with Coach Wood, and I will never forget it.
Wow.
That is awesome. Really good.
That is really good. Speaking of college basketball, we've talked with you a lot before about the idea of expanding the NCAA tournament. The final steps have gone into place, and it looks like at some point this month we will get the official announcement of the 76-team field. What do you make of that move and getting 76 teams?
Yeah, not a fan. I was fine with 64. 68 I could handle. I wonder how people are going to deal with all the brackets and stuff that everybody loves so much. It's starting to get a little more complicated. And I hope that people at the NCAA understand how big people filling out their brackets is to bring attention to the tournament. I guess TV obviously signed off on it or it wouldn't be happening, but I don't really see the need for like the 13th place team in the ACC to be in the tournament. I don't think it helps anything. If they're going to say we're going to get the teams, like let's say the Naval Academy, right? They won the Patriot League by 6 games this year and then lost on a fluke shot at the buzzer in the semifinals of the tournament. And they're out. If you're going to get those kind of teams in, I'm fine. But I don't think those are the teams they're going to let in.
Yeah, this year how Yale lost in the Ivy League finals. I would much rather see them than
Absolutely.
17 and 16 Oklahoma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, but I think that's what we're going to see, and I think that's what it's about. It's about getting the power leagues more money and getting more of their teams into the tournament. And, and I think eventually this is going to lead, and I hope it's not anytime soon, but I think it's going to happen, where the big boys are going to say, why do we need the NCAA, right? They're the middleman. 95% of the NCAA's money comes from the men's basketball tournament TV contract. At some point, the SEC, the Big Ten, and these leagues are going to say, why do we need these people? And then the little guy's really going to get squeezed out.
Yeah, I think I said it earlier in the week. I think this was a payoff to keep them from going and doing their own thing.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's right. And eventually, when they're going to look for more sources of revenue because these budgets are getting so out of control, they're going to look around and go, why are we sharing it with these people in Indianapolis? Why do we really need them?
Because, Dick, we can never have enough hot and cold tubs and enough quality control people. We got to have more video people, too.
No question.
I think we've got video people now to video the other video people.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of these football teams now have more coaches than players.
Oh, these team pictures now cover one side of the stadium.
Yep. No, it's just wild to see what's happened. And, of course, football rules everything. I mean, I get it. I know that's where the money is. But
last thing, I know you got to go because you got something right behind us. What was the first year you watched and you were transfixed by Kentucky Derby?
Man, that's a really good question. Probably 73.
That was
Secretariat.
mine. And Secretariat, and then we had Triple Crown winner. Two other times right after that. Heck, Dick, we didn't realize how good we had it in the 70s. Wooden winning every year in basketball.
Sure.
And Triple Crown winners.
Yeah, it's actually funny. I'll leave you with this story, but in '78, it was my first Derby I went as a fan to see affirmed, and then of course I lived in Baltimore, and I went to the Preakness. And I said, you know what, I'm not going to go to the Belmont. Hell, there's a Triple Crown every other year. And it was only 37 years later when I finally got to cover a Triple Crown. I was up there. I was 0 for 9. I kept going up there for the paper. I go, what? And this is before I was even in the business with Affirmed. And, yeah, that wasn't a very good call. I should have gone to the Belmont in 78 for sure.
Good stuff.
Yeah, really good stuff. Well, it should be a lot of fun this weekend.
Enjoy.
Dick, enjoy. Thanks for joining us, and we'll do it again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Dick Girardi joining us. Always a blast to have him on before the Derby.
And I'm getting ready to send the text to him every time we have him on, and I mean it sincerely. I could talk to him every day.
Oh, absolutely. And talk to him every day about horse racing. I mean, he just makes it so entertaining and easy.
And then it will go in so many other ways.
That's right. I mean, he is good at what he does. He knows his stuff like the back of his hand. Always a lot of fun to have him on before the Derby or any of these horse races, college basketball, whatever we might be talking to or about with him is always a blast. But again, we are out early this afternoon. Ole Miss baseball getting ready for a 3-game series against the Arkansas Razorbacks in Fayetteville. First pitch scheduled tonight for 6 o'clock. We're going to get you over there for the pregame show starting at 5:30. So let's go ahead and get to Mo's Crunch Time.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight?
This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that?
Crunch time between the hedges.
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries. Its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com, it's your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies. Well, Brett, what I learned today is that Memphis basketball had a very busy day. It started this morning with Tylik Weeks, who announced his commitment after spending last season at Southern Miss, where he led the team in scoring, was top 40 in the country in points per game. And then this afternoon, right around the time we started our show, it was the commitment from Cornelius Williams coming over from North Alabama, giving a massive boost in the rebounding department. And that's exactly what Memphis needed. You look at what Memphis had already added. There was a big hole in rebounding, and certainly last year, the biggest weakness on this team was rebounding. The most rebounds averaged by a player last year on this Tigers roster was 5 last season. So already you've brought in a couple of guys that have done that at their previous stop, have been better than 5 rebounds a game. And you go back and you look at all the forwards and centers that Penny Hardaway brought in last season. None of them were real rebounders at their previous stop. Arop averaged 1.5 rebounds. Aaron Bradshaw, 2.7. Ashton Hardaway, 1.2. Tariq Ingram, 7. Simon Majak, he was overseas, averaged a handful. Thierno Silla, about 2.6 rebounds. William Morton, a couple rebounds per game. So they went out there this year and have already brought in some guys that have shown they can be real threats on the boards. Cornelius Williams averaging about 9.5 rebounds last season. If they can get this JUCO player that averaged about 11, 12 rebounds last season, those would be some really nice additions for next season.
And Brian, it's probably a consortium, and it's never just one person. It's probably the new GM chipping in, helping out. That's what he was hired to do. The new staff. And I'm going to give credit for this to the person that's got it the most on the line, and that's the head coach.
No doubt about it.
Give him the credit. What I learned, Nikola Jokic says Denver is far away from contending. He didn't play well, and he's going to shoulder a lot of the blame. But if Denver's far away, how far are some other teams?
Very far away. Yeah,
he's one of the best 5 players in the league.
That's right.
And if they can't build around that,
no, I mean, it spells really bad times.
I'm going to pack my patience with the Grizzlies, and we'll know a lot more a week from Sunday.
No, we absolutely will. And, next Sunday is going to be massive with that the lottery to see where the Grizzlies get that first pick. Well, what I could have done without today, well, it's the news of, we knew it yesterday, but seeing the game later tonight, Kevin Durant out for Game 6 tonight. Just the fact that we have not seen him in this series with this injury, I mean, I think going into it, we thought, okay, this will keep him out a game or two, but it has kept him out the entire series.
Can he go Sunday?
Well, and that's the question. They've got to win tonight to force that game on Sunday. We'll see if the Rockets can do it, but if they don't, it's really going to be hard for that Rockets team to look back and see that they had to go through the entire first round without their best player.
And what's the injury?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I mean, it was something at practice. I mean, you brought it up yesterday. What could have possibly happened at practice that keeps you out for 6 games?
I mean, it had to have taken a hit.
Yeah, I mean,
in some way.
It's got to be really bad.
I could have done without the Atlanta Hawks. The way they exited, they had a good year. It will be hard for that to be remembered. Yeah. I really like Quinn Snyder as a NBA coach. Picked him preseason to be my coach of the year. He's not going to be that. But all that's going to be remembered is last night.
Oh, yeah. No, it's going to be
51 stays with them.
Yep.
Like 28-3 stayed with the Falcons.
That's right. No, it's going to be the stain. Nobody's going to remember what came before. It's going to be that final score. And it's going to be hard to erase that. Even next season, if they get into the playoffs and they're a top seed in the Eastern Conference, everyone's going to remember how they exited this year.
But as a friend of mine texted to me last night, he would take that exit
definitely
over the last 2 of the last 3 years for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, no
Get
doubt.
me back to those playoffs.
No doubt.
I miss them.
It's completely different when you're in the playoffs. That is a really good point. Where are you beaming this week?
Churchill Downs for all things Derby. Would love to go one time. I started to go by when I was in Louisville last September when I went to Louisville Slugger and went to the Muhammad Ali Museum. But I didn't go to Churchill Downs because I want to save that for someday on Derby Day. I don't want to see it empty or in the fall meet. I want to see it first Saturday in May.
No doubt. It's definitely a different vibe when it is Derby Day, so that'll be a lot of fun. Beam me to this game tomorrow night, Game 7 between the 76ers and the Boston Celtics. We saw the 76ers win last night. A really impressive win in getting Joel Embiid back. He's a game-time decision for that game tomorrow night, but you got to think that if he is anything north of about 55-60%, he'll be on the floor, and he's been a difference maker in these games that he's played. Boston at home right now, about a 7.5 point favorite. Can they get it done at home, or do the 76ers pull the massive upset?
We have a little bit of everything this weekend, don't we? Cardinals and Dodgers at Busch Stadium, 3 in St. Louis. I'll take 1 out of 3.
Yeah.
Orioles at Yankees. The Orioles view that as their big rival. The Yankees sure don't.
Yeah.
The Game 6 is tonight, 3 in hockey. Rebels and Razorbacks coming up next on these airwaves, 3 in Fayetteville. All the NBA playoffs, the Cadillac Championship, the Kentucky Derby. There's a lot out there.
Yeah, pretty much whatever you want to watch, whatever sport you like, you've got a little bit of it this weekend, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Some really important games in both the NBA and NHL, all weekend of baseball, both college and Major League, and a lot of other things going on, including the Kentucky Derby. That will be a lot of fun. But again, we're getting you out there to Ole Miss baseball. They're in action tonight against the Arkansas Razorbacks. First pitch set for 6 o'clock. We're going to get you there for the pregame show starting at 5:30. So that's all the time we have today. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you again Monday afternoon.